Hi. Yeah, wow, Sashley drama video. I'm watching that. Wow, who would have fucking guessed? Hello. My cat's in my face. Hold on. Pewter, go away. Go away. Every time I start singing, my cats get, like, really concerned, and they have to, like, get up in my face and be like, bro, are you good? You sound like you're dying, bro. Apparently I sound like a fucking eagle or some shit to them. Anyways, I know I've been on stream with other people. I know a lot of people have been talking about Ponder's 2019 video on me and the Sashley drama that I started and stuff like that. So I thought that I myself would look at it on my own time, my own terms, my own space, to my own audience, and say what I want without having to worry about, you know, what is it called? Stream courtesy, I guess, with other people. So yeah, for a little context, right, this Ashley drama of 2019 is a very, very, very complicated story, okay? There were multiple people involved, including Sashley's ex-partner, ex-friends, and somebody by the name of Gabe. If you watched my other stream where I revisited my video on Sashley, I actually went over a little bit more of the lore and I showed Gabe's side of the story, which I don't particularly believe. I don't know. I'd have to talk to him again in order to actually figure out whether or not... Oh, hello.
So much for Petty Ponder having the high ground.
Petty Ponder. Interesting nickname. Thank you for the tube, Mako. But, yeah, basically, TLDR of the situation. The talking points were not necessarily my own. Gabe had come to me with them. Gabe had come with me... oh my god. Gabe had come to me with the evidence and stuff like that. None of the talking points were my own. Gabe wrote parts of the script. I wrote parts of the script. There was originally 2 videos. I took the first video on Sashley down after talking to Sashley and Noodles, I guess. I think it was Noodles. I can't remember. And they had told me that a lot of the information was false. So I was like, oh, well, shit, I'm going to take it down then. But then Gabe and the other people who were promoting the false information and lying to me about what Sashley had done and shit like that, right? They kind of blew up at me and they're like, why'd you take the video down? It was important. No, they're just lying to try and save face and shit like that, okay? It was a very messy time, I would also like to note that actually me and Sashley had resolved this a week prior to Ponder releasing her video. I actually have this lovely video right here, released on October 20th, 2019. Whilst her video was uploaded on October 26th of 2019, okay? In this video, I had stated that I had apologized to Sashley and those involved. I even have the screenshots in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you this real quick, okay? So there's Sashley. I finished the script and hopefully I should get it up in a day or 2. Meanwhile, I suggest people do more research before hopping on cancel culture. And I say I look forward to your video and I apologize that all of this blew up. I never should have made the rants in the first place and I apologize on my behalf for doing irrational shit in my community posts, videos, and your comment section. I hope that we can both simply clear all of this up. I wish you the best of luck, dude. I'm just gonna let it play. This is me talking to them, saying sorry to Sashley, blah, blah, blah. The apology video is going to be delayed until after the weekend is over. I'm waiting for people's feedback/videos. Oh my god, my cat, please! Pewter, go. Anyways. So the whole plan with the, Ponder Sprocket video was that she was going to release her video and then I would take down my video and release my public apology video. But because I was instructed to do this, a lot of people thought that I wasn't actually sorry and I was only apologizing because Le Epic Octo Mama Ponder Sprocket or whatever the fuck called me out. When in reality, this situation had been technically resolved, not really in regards to misinformation, but interpersonally resolved and everybody apologized. And people still went after me anyways, which was great and awesome. And here's Ponder Sprocket at 27 years old asking me if I understand what a certain kink was. The whole thing, the kink in question was DDLG. Ponder Sprocket says something, like the accusations about it being pedophilic. She's talking about the DDLG thing. I'm guessing you only have a cursory understanding of that kink. Well, no shit, Ponder. I was 15. I say, I have negative feelings about anything that's DDLG due to my past experiences, so I guess I tend to look at it in a rather negative light. Ponder says, I understand that, but it doesn't justify you then going on a public platform and then putting forth that Sashley is engaging in pedophilic kink content as a result, which is true. And I said, yeah, I know, and I regret doing that. Ponder says, "Okay, well, I'm glad you regret it, but the evidence you've brought forth still needs to be disproven." This was what was given to me a while ago regarding the child porn, and yeah, I agree. To be honest, I should have researched more into things about it. I had people read the script several times, blah, 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 blah. I tried to talk to Nani about it. Does anybody remember Nani? Because I actually forgot this. This screenshot was the only thing that actually reminded me. But apparently, I had a conversation with Nani, the YouTuber, about me making this video, and they didn't discourage me. They just said to simply be careful. Which Ponder's right here. Ponder's all like, I would have just said, don't do it. And I said, I regret making the rant, and I wish that Gabe had never even mentioned what Sashley allegedly did. Also, in regards to Gabe, I know I explained this in Akumu's comment section, so you can just go look at that if you want, but a quick recap. I was very, to put it blunt, I was manipulated during that drama. Gabe would often have, like, breakdowns and, like, talk about suicide and shit like that whenever we were having issues regarding stuff that happened because of it and during the script for the videos making and stuff like that. It was a very messy situation. Gabe had told me that I was doing the right thing and to not listen to Sashley or any of our friends or any of the quote-unquote white knights. He told me to make a community post saying not to get Ponder involved because he said that Ponder was dangerous and would obliterate Sashley for whatever fucking reason, which we know that's bullshit, right? I didn't know who the fuck she was, okay? Never heard of the bitch. I was just told, hey, don't let her get involved. She's bad news, right? He tried to give me a god complex by saying that people would treat me like a god and that I was doing the right thing and people would love me and stuff like that. I was 15, he was 17. I'm not going to call him a fucking pedophile. I was confused about his age, like, years ago, so I did call him a pedophile, but I retract that. So yeah, it was a messy situation. Keep in mind, going into this, not all these talking points are my own. Anyways, people are getting onto Ponder Sprocket for making this video in general because she was 27 years old, engaging in children's drama regarding kink discourse, pedophilia, DDLG, etc., inherently sexual and inappropriate topics for any child to even be involved with, let alone commenting on, you know? And realistically, if I were to change the outcome of how this was handled or just, like, go back in time, if I was Ponder, right? Hello?
GoatCatto.
Love you, Cal. Thank you for the $1.99. I'm not cringe, though. Fuck you. If I were to go back in time and handle this, if I was Ponder Sprocket, here's how I would have liked things to have been resolved, I guess. I feel like it would have been a lot better if people were kept anonymous, if she didn't boost my sex life and Sashley's sex life, or the allegations pertaining to it, rather than, you know, giving a simple explanation. She just decided to go on and, like, show minors sexting DMs and shit like that. My porn, the fact that I had a Not Safe for Work fan art channel in my Discord server, along with a Not Safe for Work channel in general, which my server was not age-gated. I think we can all see the issue with that. Ponder never reached out to me to tell me one-on-one that engaging in this is bad. She only does it in her video. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into it. Also, one last thing I'd like to note, Ponder has acknowledged that I've grown and changed, like, over the years. Do you remember my 2022 Sashley drama video? Yeah, that was the thing. She went over it on Twitch, right? And here's actually the thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this specific part. You know how I talked about her blasting the fact that I had Not Safe for Work channels in my Discord server? This is what she had to say to that in 2023, or 2022, whatever. Oh, fuck, I just missed it. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, my God. Wait, no, go back. Go back. Go back. Fuck. 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 Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. 15. 15. 15. 15. Oh, my God. Goat was. Oh, my God. You know what? Whatever. I'll find it later. I'll fucking find it later. Hold on. Or is it this part? Is it this part? Is it this part? You know what? We'll go over that later. We'll watch your stream later. Anyways, let's get into this.
Please do not harass or attempt to intimidate any users featured in this video. Ponder Sprocket commentaries are intended as critiques of situations or behaviors based on the information available and are meant to demonstrate wrongdoings, contradictions, or dispel false narratives so that others may come to an informed opinion. Under no circumstances is targeted harassment appropriate or encouraged.
And all of her fans, including Spockers, including everybody who covered me and Sashley at the time, decided to ignore those warnings and tell a 15-year-old me who had just gotten out of the fucking mental hospital to, quote-unquote, go back to the mental hospital, compared me to Adolf Hitler of all fucking people. I mean, I am German, so I guess that's fair, right? Just kidding. And they told me to kill myself. And they treated me like I was the fucking devil, and I was only apologizing because, oh, Mama pocked her. Mama pocked Proctor. Who the fuck is Proctor? Is that like a Ponder Sprocket, Spoctor love child? Basically, they all harassed me and ignored Ponder's preachings. It's really funny. It's really fucking funny. Treating a 15-year-old like they're the spawn of fucking Satan and continuing to hold something over their head for 6 goddamn years. It's great.
Would also like to preemptively make note, I am not a lawyer.
No shit, you're not a lawyer. Something I'd like to know, right? She always does this legal shit. It's so annoying. I understand, you know, wanting to bring up legal terms to, like, point out issues with things and point out where issues may not actually be issues in a legal sense or whatever the hell. But, like, I don't care, bro. There's better ways to cover shit. You don't have to be like, well, according to Article C, section blah, blah, blah of this law, this says that. Like, bro, stop.
Video is based on my own understanding of laws. Please do not take this video as legal advice, as it is not meant to be. It is just meant to inform based on my own understanding of things. You hear that? You hear where I directly say that targeted harassment is inappropriate, and I explicitly discourage people from doing that because as the person dictating within a video what is right and what is wrong, and using that as a platform to say when a public figure is in the wrong, that specification can be important. Now, I would understand not considering its importance. It would be hypocritical of me to say otherwise, and if someone didn't have a disclaimer, I wouldn't hold it against them. It should be common sense that harassing a person because of something a video says shouldn't be done, but that doesn't always occur to everyone, and not everyone making videos is going to realize that it doesn't occur to.
Also, something I would like to point out, right? I've already pre-watched this. I don't give a fuck, right? She talks about how, you know, if you're misinforming your audience, then technically you have the responsibility with what your audience then does with that misinformation that you're putting out there. Yeah, we'll get more into that later regarding Ponder and me, right? Because there's misinformation in this video where she completely misunderstands a point regarding me, quote-unquote, victim-blaming Sashley based off of her own misunderstanding of what I was trying to say. I was a 15-year-old. This was my first ever commentary video. It was dog shit. I obviously disavow every single fucking inch of it, but at the same time, it's just like, bro. Also, yeah, with how pompous she is, she's like, well, you see where I said not to harass someone? No shit, girl.
To everyone. I myself have failed to consider it in the past. Under certain circumstances, you might expect people to act one way, only to have them act another. Plenty of YouTubers don't have clauses at the beginning of their videos specifying that you shouldn't go harass people because it's common sense. And you might think, hey, harassment is pretty not okay all across the board. I don't need to specify it, right? Only to then realize, yeah, you kind of need to specify it. But there's a pretty big difference between forgetting to tell people that harassment isn't okay because it doesn't occur to you that people might do that and, oh, I don't know.
Oh, and also something I would like to note, for those of you who may not stick around, I'm going to go into depth about this whenever it comes up in the video, but I would like to remind you all that Ponder in this video decides that it's totally okay to justify and excuse a 17-year-old being romantic and sexual towards a 12-year-old Sashley by saying that, oh, they're just friends, and oh, he was just joking, these are just jokes. We'll get more into that, but there was clear evidence of fucking grooming, and she just glosses over it. It's fucking crazy. Hold on. I'm like tweaking out.
Know what GoatCatto does?
Before I list the rest of the disclaimers.
And yes, I'm sorry. This shit is like so embarrassing. So yeah, I didn't have a microphone. Little GoatCatto wasn't allowed to have a microphone at home, you know, very controlling mommy and shit like that. So I had to use Microsoft Sam. Microsoft Sam to make commentary videos. This is so fucking awful. I'm glad I don't use it anymore, but Jesus Christ, it's gonna be painful to listen to.
Please note that if you're
but we can suffer
to the
together
topic of child porn, pedophilia, mental abuse, and other upsetting things, then you should click off of this video. Hello, before you scroll down to post a comment, I'm talking to you. White Knights, please take time to watch this video and think thoroughly about this situation.
Also, I will say, dead and gone, do not ever idolize anybody, whether it's a person, a YouTuber, etc., etc., etc. Do not idolize anybody. Everybody at the end of the day is just a normal person, and some people that you think are normal and you look up to end up being freaks behind closed doors. So maybe it's best not to look up to anybody on YouTube.
And don't harass others who don't agree with you. And please don't go witch hunt people in this video. You can if you want to, but I highly advise against doing that. This is not an attack on Sashley, JLEET, or Noodles.
You can if you want to, but I advise against it. No, Goat. If you're firmly telling people not to harass an individual, you should be speaking firmly on that matter. Not this wishy-washy, oh, well, I can't stop you from doing this thing, but I don't.
Have you considered that this was my first commentary video and I stated as such in the video's beginning? Have you ever considered that? Also, this is more of a nitpick that you could have just, I don't know, DM'd me. I don't know why we need to put this in a video, bruh.
condone it. You shouldn't even be presenting the option of, if you want to, I can't stop you. It should just be a firm, don't ever do this, I don't condone that behavior. GOAT kind of further showcases this mentality in their community.
Also, I was being super autistic, bruh. I was being super fucking autistic, bro. I was 15 years old, right? I was just a little minor. Oh. Hello? Think you just a retard. Love you. Anyways. I was 15 years old. I thought that, well, even if I say don't harass this person, right? People are naturally going to do it anyways. So I'm just acknowledging the fact that they're going to do it anyways and that I advise against that. Because in my mind, I was like, well, if people go out and harass Sashley and they come to me about it and they're going to be like, your fans harassed her. Well, I already said that I couldn't technically do anything about it, and I acknowledged that. I just wanted people to, like, acknowledge that if they do, I advise against it. I can't stop them. They're probably going to do it anyways. I don't like that.
Tab. When someone pointed out that what they were doing seemed like an attack, GOAT said that they were not responsible for what people did as a result of the information that they presented in their video. I mean, sure, maybe in most cases that would apply, but there are also instances where that doesn't apply, such as if claims were made based on a misunderstanding of a concept, which, I mean, why do you think I'm talking about this? They talk about how there's nothing to debunk and that they have over 200 images of proof, which, yeah.
I deadass thought I was in the right. It was really fucking funny. I was like, guys, we have so much fucking, we have so many screenshots, so many juicy screenshots.
Why is my kitten obsessed with chair legs?
Your kitten's probably trying to claw on it or something. I don't know. Are they trying to scratch their claws on your leg post or something? Hello? Thank you for the
Ayo,
2. Or
the
5.
pizza here.
Ayo, the pizza here? Thank you for the 5, dude.
We'll be going over most of those. Oh, and they also said, guys, for the love of God, please don't get Ponder involved. I'm involved.
I'm involved as a 27-year-old woman. I'm getting involved with children's drama spanning from the age range of 12 through fucking 16. But then again, it's Ponder Sprocket. How many minors has she gone after? There was the Karija, whatever the fuck that guy's name was. They were like, what? Were they like 14 or 15? Can't remember. That's one minor. There's Akumu, another minor. There's me, another minor. There's Frick, another minor. That's at least 4 minors that she's made videos on. One of which she made several. If I am remembering correctly, she made like, what, 7 videos? Yeah, the Frick the Pirate thing. That was something. The Spocter videos too. Yeah. That was also going after kids, though they were slandering him as a pedophile, so I get why she stepped in as that, but I don't know. How old was Ponder when she made this GoatCatto and Sashley video? Genuine question. She was 27 years old. Keep that in mind.
This is just to spread awareness of the situation going down in this community. If you, or anyone you know, is a victim of pedophilia or anything else deemed illegal/inappropriate, such as grooming, death threats, or child porn, please contact the right authorities and/or report them before it's too late. Also, I apologize if this rant isn't exactly well made. I've never really made one before.
Yeah, keep in mind, that video got 1.2 million views. And I'm not just complaining about that because, oh my god, 1.2 million people fucking hate me now. No, 1.2 million people saw both me and Sashley's sexual content that we made and, engaged in when we were minors, boosting the fact that Sashley was into DDLG or whatever the fuck at, 13 years old, to 1.2 million people. Does that not sound a little odd? Does that not sound kind of bad to do? Isn't there a better way to, go about handling this? I don't know. Maybe if an accusation regarding Sashley's sex life is brought up, be like, hey, this is inappropriate. What happens in her private life should stay private. You shouldn't talk about this. This is inappropriate. They're a child. I'm moving on.
So can't use my voice, so I have to use a text-to-speech bot.
Spoilers, the 2 most serious things that GOAT talks about here, that being the accusations of child porn and pedophilia, yeah, they don't apply here. At all. I'm pointing that out right now because, again, from GOAT's community tab, a comment from Unlucky Rose showcased exactly what GoatCatto's video was making people believe. They were...
Yeah, you want to talk about, GoatCatto's video made people think false things about Sashley. Okay, what about your fucking video, bro? People think that J-Leet isn't a groomer even though he was 17 years old, talking to Sashley when she was 12, engaging in romantic and sexual conversations and telling her to keep that secret. What about the false narrative of you spreading, You spread the false narrative of me being a victim blamer when that wasn't what I was trying to do.
Under the impression that Sashley's actions were comparable with pedophilia.
People still bring that up.
In particular, some of the things that GOAT presented that Sashley
What surf have goat breed?
Goat.
Drew, people are under the impression were illegal works of art. Now, there is something that Sashley did that, from my understanding of things, would legally be a problem. But that's one thing, and incidentally, it's not actually a part of any of the allegations against her. I'll explain further as...
Oh, also, speaking of Ponder Sprocket, go check out Chuli's video, but I think it'd be appropriate to mention that, at the time of this, there was the junkie drama that was going down regarding Chuli, what was it? Chuli, Ponder, junkie, etc., right? All of that was going down. Blah, 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 blah. What am I trying to fucking say? This shit's making me anxious. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Go check out Chuli's video, okay? I'll probably pin it in the description or in the comment section, right? But Ponder's been exposed for knowingly keeping Spockter around, despite the fact that she was aware that he had child porn. Which is great. Let him into the servers. Let him be around Chuli. All of that. Love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh no, it's already been leaked.
Get into things.
Okay.
Before that, though, here's a story for you guys. I have been approached on multiple platforms by people asking me to deal with the Sashley drama, and by deal with the drama, and I did get clarification on this, they meant expose Sashley. I spoke with someone named MX Melody on Instagram about it, and had them explain as much as they could.
Also, here's my question. If you have questions about this drama that involves, other people, I don't even know who the fuck my Melody is. I don't know this bitch. I don't think they know me. I don't know. I don't know. But, you get on to me at the very end of this video, we'll get to that, for not reaching out to you, but you didn't do your due diligence when you were made aware of this situation to reach out to me. You're just talking to some random fucking third party. Who the fuck is my Melody? I don't know this bitch.
About the situation. One thing in particular that they made note of that I want to be very clear before we delve into the situation in full. Sashley is 13. She turned 13 this June. Melody is 15.
My Melody is
GoatCatto.
Sleep. Holy shit. Okay, so I do know them. So she reached out to someone. Wait, no, but that doesn't make sense because they said that that would mean my Melody was on the side of me? I'm so fucking confused because the whole narrative was that, hey, somebody who is against Sashley actually reached out to me to try and get me to cover this. I'm so fucking confused.
So the person whose videos I will be covering, according to Melody, is 14 or 15. Everyone involved here is a child, and therein has a child's understanding of the world. I am addressing and going over this situation, however, because the audience being catered to in this situation is potentially younger than that. The newest comment on GoatCatto's...
Keep this in mind. She's making this video because the audience that this drama pertains to is young. Children. All of them are children. In fact, she displays, I'm only 12 and yet I know that all of this shit is bad. So you're expecting people from the age ranges of what? Fucking 10 through 16 to be watching this video in which you explain DDLG and
First
a bunch
video
of
at
other
the time of
shit.
scripting this reads, I'm only 12 and yet I know all of this shit is bad. The people involved in this situation are children who don't know any better, much like the people involved in the
Children who don't know any better. Let me make a hour-and-a-half video on this instead of trying to figure out a better way to resolve this situation and to clear up misinformation. Everybody involved is a child, so we're going to put everybody involved on blast. Except for the people who actually wrote the script behind the scenes. Except for Gabe, who manipulated GoatCatto during this situation, and Ponder was well aware of that. And also, we're not going to mention the fact that GoatCatto apologized to Sashley anywhere in this fucking video. Anywhere in this fucking video.
sense of deja vu situation.
When she was there, when I made the apology.
Any misunderstandings presented are children. Remember that as we go forward and treat them as such. Alright, so a quick summary. I'm going to be doing a commentary on a couple of videos and a collection of evidence presented by the user GoatCatto as a means of exposing the user Sashley. Sashley is a YouTube animator with almost 500,000 subscribers that will be important later, who focuses primarily on animation memes. She's been the center of a few controversies in her community, which might seem a little telling given her only being on the platform for 2 years, a recent one of which involved another user named Casual Susan, and don't worry, that name will pop up again, and another, the claim of which was that Sashley was unoriginal.
I also want to state something, that this video kind of formed the way I don't know, how do I word this? This shaped a very unhealthy mindset in regards to call-out culture. All it taught me was that, oh, well, adults can comment on kids' drama, so if a kid's doing something bad, you should call them out. If a kid's spreading misinformation, you should probably call them out. And, oh, well, as long as you have proper evidence for your claims against someone, then you can call them out. Not a very good good mindset to have going forward.
Now, having said that, I would like everyone to sit back in their chairs for a moment and acknowledge that. The original drama against Sashley was over the complaint that she was unoriginal, particularly that she took inspiration in her animation memes from other people, which, if you don't know what an animation meme is, it's an animated story or sequence that is often copied and changed depending on the animator making it. The purpose is basically—
I'm gonna be for real, I'm gonna skip this part, right, because it's literally just her going over other people's videos, including CineBear03's video. It's not what I need to get on about, so we're gonna go right here. Wow.
And a minor lying about their age to see porn in a digital space means that the other people unaware of that minor's age would be in trouble, sometimes thinking that certain things are illegal when they send her pornographic that do exist. Again, centers around copying to an extent, and it might be difficult for her to recognize
here's
what
the
is
good
okay for her
part,
to copy and make her
I
own
think.
versions of, and what is not okay for her to copy. It would be far more beneficial to explain to her the difference and to help teach her how to spot those differences. I don't know if there's a hashtag or something that animation memers use when it's not okay to copy an animation, but that might be more useful than just expecting kids to know the difference automatically. That her character is a bit of a mishmash of other characters by other creators. Yeah, again, 11, 12, recently turned 13. Children copy things to learn and then eventually grow into creating things of their own. Additionally, people can make that complaint against a lot of characters that do exist, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the character is bad or lesser to an
do
extent.
not
The characters
steal!
that you're seeing drawn in the background of this video were all inspired by a variety of different things, just like Sashley's character. The Lost Bride, for example, was inspired by Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club, Sailor Moon in her bridal gown to an extent, General Gothic wedding attire, and a variety of stills. That's a people don't keep the backstory, which means I carry the time of that video and still complaint to my attention on Twitter, which was that Sashley made it be spectacular. Again, I bring up the point that she's 12 at the time of that video and still learning. Of course, her anatomy or coloring isn't going to be spectacular. People would argue mine isn't the best either. Someone also brought a complaint.
As I said, a child is not at fault for being in an 18+ server. Children lie. It happens. Show me a law where children are punished for doing that. I happen to know that the person who made the videos is also in an 18+ server, or at least a not safe for work one. Should be 18+ by default. Okay, why didn't you fucking tell me that? Why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell me that? Why did you not tell me that? First off, exposing kids to 18+ servers can get the creators in deep trouble. Her voluntarily joining these servers can do such a thing. On top of that, it goes against the guidelines. Let's not forget she's in the server. Okay.
To my attention on
I don't
Twitter,
care
which
she
is
was
that Sashley
13.
managed to get herself into an 18+ server.
13-year-old
and by
shouldn't
being
be in
there,
an
she was
18+
endangering
server
other
in
people in
general.
the server who might
Just be like, hey, don't be in there. It's dangerous.
It's not a crime to unknowingly send porn to a child. It's a crime to—
Here's my whole issue with like this segment, right? She doesn't talk about how it's dangerous for Sashley to be engaging in these spaces and discourage her from joining them. She just talks about like the legality of it. That's not what we're worried about. We're just worried about her and other people being put in danger because, oh, a minor's in a not safe for workspace. That could get all of them in trouble,
send
bruh.
porn to someone that you believe to be or have been informed is a child. If Sashley went into that server and everyone knew that she was 12 or 13 and they sent her pornographic images regardless, that would be bad, except it still wouldn't be Sashley's fault. If anything is sent to her by somebody who is fully aware of her age, then that responsibility falls on the person sending the image, not Sashley for managing to get herself into the server. The laws being cited, actually, I can't even say that they're being cited, it's more
Just
like
say that she shouldn't be in the server, bro. I don't care about the law shit.
By Sashley are laws put in place to protect minors from being taken advantage of or seeing things that they're not supposed to see. But if a minor actively lies about their age in an attempt to see these things, it's not the fault of the person providing them. For example, if a child clicks the "Yes, I am 18" button on a porn site, that site is—
It's not the same. A porn site isn't exactly direct. You don't have direct communication with other adults. A minor joining a Discord server that's dedicated to adult topics and themes, they are putting themselves at risk. They're being put at risk of being groomed. Like, come on.
not responsible for whatever
Especially
that
if they open up to somebody in that space about how, like, yeah, I said I was 18, but I'm actually, like, 13. Hi. Like, do you not see where that could grow? Dude.
They gave
It could go wrong. It could go south so fucking quick.
a warning that actively stops the person from entering the site initially and required the child to lie in order to enter. That's it. It's nobody's fault, and no one would be in trouble if Sashley did manage to get into an 18+ server and lied about her age to do it. If you find out that she's underage, just kick her and you're fine. I think that's about it in terms of general complaints that people have against Sashley. Thanks for the easy compilation, Scootaloo. Nani actually made a great video showcasing why a lot of the drama and outrage surrounding Ashley was dumb. Highly recommend. Preteens and young teens also are not as versed in the law as they believe themselves to be, as
Wait, but if Nani had fucking made a video regarding how the Sashley drama was dumb, why did she simply tell me to be careful when I told her that I was making this video rather than, you know, discouraging me from making the fucking video? What? Ugh. Oh, so I mentioned something about Sashley breaking the law. I guess I forgot about that.
evident by someone
Oopsies.
thinking that a minor lying about their age to see porn in a digital space means that the other people unaware of that minor's age would be in trouble, sometimes thinking that certain things
I mean, I get it, but like I said, my whole, like, statement on this would be she shouldn't be in those spaces. That is dangerous. However, don't use that against her. Rather, you should be more concerned about her safety rather than trying to villainize her. Easy.
Are illegal when they're not, or believing that something isn't illegal when it is. It's also more difficult for people to recognize that something is illegal if it's not a law that's ever acted upon. Like the law that says that your dog can't do business.
Am I too loud? I'm sorry. Also, no. Don't start with Sashley did what? She was like 12 or 13. I don't care what she did. Okay.
On someone else's lawn, because technically that's trespassing. It's not a law that we see enforced often, but it is a law. I bring this up because both Sashley and GoatCatto are confused on what is and is not illegal, but from two different ends of the spectrum and on different matters. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough about what you need to know for this video. Beyond this point, I'm going to issue a trigger warning for mentions of illicit images of children and pedophilia, and maybe kinks. I don't know if that's a trigger for some people. We're going to be talking about kinks. Let's begin.
Remember, this video is being aimed at a younger audience. Children, mind you. We're going to talk about kinks.
Sashley, I'm sure we all...
Literally, you don't have to go in depth about kinks or anything. You should just be like, this is inappropriate. You guys are all fucking children. You have no knowledge of any kink shit. You should probably wait till you're an adult to even try to understand this. Otherwise, please stay out of it. Please stop talking about it. You're young. You don't need to be involved. Easy.
All know who Sashley is at this point. She's a popular YouTuber known for their animation memes who currently has more than 400,000 subscribers. She's also infamous for the whole Sashley and Casual Susan art style theft drama which occurred a long time ago.
And was stupid.
People think that ever since
Amazing
that incident,
commentary.
there hasn't been any drama. That, my friends, is false. There's been a lot of drama ranging from last year to now.
So much drama. There was so much drama. It was like, you know, leaking from the fucking ceiling.
Alright, so, first off...
Old Testament goat needs to die.
Susan situation. We all know about the art style.
Oh my god, this shit was so gay.
This
shit was so gay. This shit is so fucking gay. Oh my god. 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 I hate this shit. Okay. Watching this video in general makes me cringe, right? I was very cringe during it. Very cringe, right? But the whole arguments. Oh my god. The high school drama, bruh. She copied my style. And, she stole my popularity and my friends. Like, bro, you're a child.
Happened
Shut
after
up.
Susan hit 100k subscribers. For some reason, Sashley and her gang decided...
This blurry ass fucking screenshot. Okay. It's blurry. It says, just report her fucking video for being underage. She doesn't deserve that 100k. She doesn't deserve anything good in life. Like, fuck. That screenshot can't inform me. I don't know how to read it. Like, dude. I was taking pictures of Bigfoot. It's okay. No, but unironically, I remember having these images on, like, the lady who raised me, my biological grandma's computer. And, like, in Windows Movie Maker, right? Hey, these were not my screenshots. None of these were my fucking screenshots, okay? None of these are my screenshots. These are just given to me. Okay, it was ass. But like Gabe and Kenny and all the other people who were involved with the situation, they just handed me this shit. But anyways, with this specific screenshot, right? Before I rendered it, it was just a tad bit blurry. You could at least, like, you know, read a little bit of it. But after I rendered it and exported the video, you can't see shit. It just says, like, what the fuck is this?
Mass report /flag her channel and her videos, which Sashley later admitted to doing. This scared Susan and made her furious. Susan ended up moving channels to this and other personal reasons. Susan did horrible things because...
You can't even read it! Sashley, can you help me report her? I can't read any of this shit, which is like closest.
Sashley stealing her popularity and taking her friends.
She stole my popularity. She stole my friends. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. This evil little 13-year-old needs to be stoned to death. Stone her to death. Like, fuck. It's so dumb.
With false accusations of self-harm, suicide, and suicidal thoughts against...
Especially this shit. False accusations of suicidal ideation and thoughts. Oh my god, it's almost like a 12-year-old is going through, like, beef and they can be suicidal about the beef and other things that are happening in their fucking life. Why was I like, oh my god, Sashley, like, talked about cutting herself, and Sashley and Susan talked about killing themselves and suicide and blah, 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 blah. Also, yeah, the angry pose is funny. It looks like Squidward. Like, look at that big-ass fucking nose. Look at that big-ass nose. Look at this. Look at this. It just didn't... Why does that have a tumor? There's tumors all over it.
Susan to make her look bad. Susan became suicidal and mean towards Sashley over this.
She became
Because
suicidal and mean!
Sashley started harassing each other.
Okay, so while the
Oh my God!
I'm going to attempt to break everything down into easily digestible pieces for you guys. To start off, GoatCatto makes the claim that Sashley, for some reason, got her and her friends to mass flag Susan's channel once she hit 100,000 subscribers.
Obviously, I didn't know the reason. I wasn't involved, bro. I was just the messenger. I didn't know shit. I was a 15-year-old who didn't know how to do fucking digging like you, girl. You're like 27. Digging into children's trauma to figure out a fucking timeline. But you won't reach out to me for clarity on anything. Fuck.
Now, for one thing, the for some reason denotion leaves a lot of vagueness up in the air regarding specifically why all of this happened. There's actually a Sashley Drama wiki page, and for as small as it is, I'll be looking in
The Sashley Trauma Awareness Wiki. What is this? Do not attack anybody mentioned in this wiki. The purpose of this wiki is to inform other people. Name Sashley, age 13, known for animation. This is so fucking pathetic. Dude, imagine having a whole ass wiki page about a 13-year-old's online drama. I cannot imagine. And I use this shit as a fucking source too. I'm gonna kill myself. Sashley is a popular animation-based YouTuber with about 500k subscribers. She's engaged in drama with someone with a similar art style known as Susan. Oh my god, who cares?
Do it a
Oh my
lot.
god.
Quick note to point out,
Guys,
remember
the evil 13-year-old is copying somebody else's art style or some bullshit, bro. We gotta make a wiki about this. We gotta inform the masses, bro. The West is fucking fallen. The AMC is in ruins. All because of this evil 14-year-old. Oh, sorry. 13-year-old. I
said that preteens can lash out as a result of being heavily scrutinized? You know what might count as heavy scrutinizing? A literal wiki page devoted to keeping tabs on a 13-year-old getting into tips with other 13-year-olds on the internet. Incidentally, recently taken.
What do you mean? Who the fuck is saying quite? What? Why is somebody saying quiet? What's wrong with you? What's happening? Anyways.
Remember when I said that preteens can lash out as a result of being heavily scrutinized? You know what might count as heavy scrutinizing? A literal wiki page devoted to keeping tabs on a 13-year-old getting into tips with other 13-year-olds on the internet. Incidentally, recently taken down because Streamline Workshop pointed out that it was kinda stupid.
Also, she's like talking about how like, oh, do you know what counts as what the fuck? Look up, you dumb bitch. Oh my god. What are you talking about, brah? I don't know what you people are talking about. There's nothing going on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Scroll? What do you mean scroll? I'm scrolling. I don't see anything. Somebody just said quite out of nowhere, brah. Whatever.
Again, recommend. Moving on. On the wiki page, it makes note of Sashley and
Quite
Susan's
looked at this drama. Oh yeah, I forgot. Quite looked at this. Anyways, what I was trying to fucking say. Oh my god. Anyways, what I was trying to say was, she's talking about how like heavily scrutinizing a child is bad. Anyways, I'm gonna make a video that got 1.2 million views going after a child. It's pretty cool.
Relationship, and particularly that both of them have a habit of talking disparagingly about the other, which then spurs the disparaging comments.
Stop, Ace!
Susan says
Stop! Also, fuck you,
Sashley,
Yen!
so when Sashley hears about this, she says something bad about Susan in return, and vice versa. There is no indication of when this began or who started it, just that Susan and Sashley clearly do not like each other, and if they hear any sort of rumor about one of them talking behind the other person's back, they do the same in response. Honestly, it just sounds like typical middle school drama. The wiki even specifies that, as much as Susan hates Sashley, she doesn't want her dead, which does at least indicate to us that Susan very much does not like Sashley. The problem here is that, like I said, there's no indication as to who started this feud. Sashley is currently being blamed, and the wiki is written in an admittedly very biased manner, addressing what Sashley does, but not addressing what spurred it on. We can clearly infer from the wiki that Sashley acts in response to Susan doing something, and vice versa. So the
Exactly what Val said. Sashley isn't bad. They were just a dumb 13-year-old. They didn't really do anything bad anyways, and people fucking scrutinized her because, oh my god, a 12-year-old is being a 12-year-old on the internet. We gotta go inform the masses about this. Like, fuck off. It's so gay.
Some reason behind Sashley attempting to flag Susan's channel could have been a response to something that Susan did, but this possibility isn't being acknowledged. The wiki
also here's my question. Why are we digging into the doxing drama? Trying to figure out a timeline? Why do we care? Just be like, doxing bad guys, don't do it. I don't think Sashley doxed anybody, but whatever.
The drama was
Like,
because
please.
they assumed that they were tracing each other. We can't see where this assumption started, who had it first, what spurred it on, or really anything we need to figure out who effectively threw the first stone. At this point, all we can tell is that Sashley and Susan act out in response to one another. I would also like to point out that these are two young artists, and for young artists, it's apparently a sin for people to take inspiration from them. The young artists themselves are allowed to take inspiration from other people just fine, but if someone takes inspiration from them, they're copying, and that means they're evil and they need to stop. I can't even make a joke that I'm being hyperbolic because I'm not. I have seen so many dramas spurred
I'm not
on by
muted!
copy
Fuck
me, it's
off!
not even funny. An additional issue with that note,
not even
however, is that
talking.
the wiki doesn't track Susan's actions against Sashley. It makes note that Sashley acts in response to things that Susan
I can't believe that this Wikipedia doesn't fucking... Oh my god, I just burped. Anyways. Ah, my god. Why do we care about what Susan did? Why do we care? 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 This is so annoying. Well, what about what the other 12-year-old did? Let's dig into that. It's interesting that this Wikipedia page doesn't know what the other 12-year-old is doing. I wouldn't want them to, bruh. Also, you can hear me. Stop.
says about
check
her, but we
DMs. Yeah, check DMs. Yeah, check DMs. What is it, little bra? What is it? You're muted? Yeah, no, you're not. No, I'm 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 not.
no
Fuck
idea
you.
as to what those things are. So for all we know, both sides are equally culpable in this, but only one side is being focused on, and it's being hyper-focused on potentially unfairly. Yes, it could have been inappropriate.
Ace,
for
I'm gonna
Sashley
shove
to
a
attempt to
broom
flag
up your
Susan's channel,
asshole.
but
Fuck
this
you.
attempt is presented as being unwarranted when the wiki even specifies that Sashley tried to get her channel taken down because Susan was too young to be on YouTube. Now, hypocritical, considering Sashley was 11 and also shouldn't have been on YouTube, but technically warranted, as you're not supposed to have a YouTube account if you're younger than 13 years of age. Additionally, GoatCatto provides no evidence of Sashley owning up to this mistake. We can't be sure if she owned up to it and explained why she did it, or what.
That's because the narrative came from Gabe, bruh. Remember when I said that Gabe wrote a lot of these, a lot of parts of the scripts oh my god, Gabe wrote a lot of the script, right? Most of the talking points came from Gabe. I don't know shit about her fucking history. Gabe was the one who came to me about it. I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna believe what you said because you're a friend and, you believe, I believe everything you say. Just fucking...
Whether or not she was sorry for acting out in that manner, just that it apparently happened. Whether or not Sashley recognized what she did was a mistake is important to consider because it indicates whether she's grown and learned from the situation. But that's not being discussed here. Plus, she was freaking 11!
Okay, for real this time, DMs, let me guess. It's gonna be a troll, it's gonna be a troll, it's gonna be a troll, it's gonna be a troll. Yep, you're muted. Fuck you! Fuck you and Ace! Fuck you and Ace! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you guys seen this? Guys, have you seen this? Guys, have you seen this? You're muted. Oh my god, you're muted, guys. Guys, GoatCatto, I think you're muted. I think you're muted, GoatCatto. Fuck you.
You do dumb shit at 11! Actually, how big was Sashley's channel back then? I ask this because while one might be able to make the claim that she shouldn't be acting this way with how large her channel is since she's a role model, this would have been before—
She's not a role model. She's 13 years old. I don't know why I tried to make that point. I was like, oh my god, she has like 500k subscribers and all the other 11 and 12-year-olds look up to her. Oh my god, it's almost like she's only a year older than them.
her channel was as big as it is, and before
Crazy.
she was as big a role model for people. So we're blaming her for things.
But have I? Fuck you.
She was even a role model. On top of that, even discounting the poor quality of the screenshots, there could be more to this conversation that we're not seeing, such as additional reasoning for Sashley to attempt to flag the channel. For all we know,
I'm gonna be for real. This is also why I think that children probably shouldn't have a YouTube account until they're like what? Honestly, 18. I'm sorry. I know that some minors can do commentary. Fuck you, Aunt. Fuck you. You are not joining on the fucking fray. Fuck off. Fuck off. Anyways, you probably shouldn't have a platform at like 12 to 13 years old. Number one, you're too young. Number two, the scrutiny from the fucking community who are gonna have their eyes on you and treat you like you're either a god or a devil. You shouldn't have that weighing down on your fucking shoulders. You shouldn't have that much of a... oh my god, y'all are giving me a fucking stroke. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate all of you. Die. Shouldn't have a platform if you're a kid. Only causes harm.
could have been upset over Susan reaching 100,000 subscribers, but didn't initiate the urge to report her until she found out that Susan was underage and therein technically violating YouTube's guidelines. Or the timeline could be off, which it is. Let's bring up those screenshots again. See, you can't see what is being said or what
yeah, no shit, we can't
the
see.
date is in Goat's screenshot, but you can see it in mine. In the clearer, far easier to read version of this screenshot I have, the date is May 10th, 2019. But according to this screenshot, Susan hit 100,000 subscribers around February. Why?
What?
2019. But according to this
Please reach 100K, I'm begging you. Crying, nah. Quora, Deadpool's pansexual pot. Ew, 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 no, please get terminated.
This screenshot, Susan hit 100,000 subscribers around February. Why would Sashley and her friends be freaking out about Susan reaching 100K and acting in response to that if she
I
hit
don't
that
know,
milestone
I
3
don't
months
care.
prior? That's
I don't
a bit
care.
of a slow reaction.
I don't
Susan
care.
herself-
I don't care. Just say, hey, don't report each other for like gay, petty children's drama. Nobody cares. Move on. Oh my
even
god.
specified that the report happened 1 or 2 days after she hit 100,000, so it couldn't have happened.
So did you see it? Yen! I'm gonna kill you. I was told that you took pics of the DMs with your Nintendo DSi. Care to comment? Kill yourself!
in May, which is when the screenshots supposedly proving it happened are from. This is why cut up, poor quality, and out-of-context screenshots like this don't work. If there are more screenshots showcasing the reasoning behind this, they should be shown to better prove the point. Another thing I want to address is, how did Sashley steal her popularity? That's not how
She
that
didn't-
works.
she
Maybe you
didn't-
could
she
make the
didn't-
claim that
it's a
Sashley
gay
stole
talking
Susan's friends
point
by
from
claiming
a
that Susan
fucking
was suicidal,
child,
but one, I
please.
mean, shitty friends to begin with. 2, how do you go about proving that? And why is there no evidence of this claim? Goat also states that Susan then became suicidal and mean to Sashley, thus resulting in the mutual
my
harassment.
God.
But according to the wiki, they were already at one another's throats by the time the flag attempt happened, so I'm getting hints that the timeline being discussed is even further off on top of everything else.
Now that we've talked about the Susan situation, I'd like to talk about the toxic and horrible things that Sashley's done and
The toxic and horrible things that a 13-year-old with a platform of 500K subscribers has done. Oh my god, this is like really scary. This person's like fucking evil. We need to stone her to death with fucking hammers or something. Like, oh my god!
Sashley and JLA.
And the fucking text-to-speech is not helping either. If you or a loved one have suffered from abuse from Sashley or JLEET, please call GoatCatto at 1-800-GOAT-FIDO 100
If
or
you
some
have
shit.
fun, as some of you may or may not know, Sashley is into DDLG, also known as Daddy Dumb Little Girl. DDLG is a lifestyle.
Oh my
You're
God.
basically living the life of a child.
It's not a phase, Mom. It's a lifestyle. That's why I wear diapers and shit myself and I jerk off all day.
Or being a parent to your little. DDLG stands for Daddy Dumb Little Girl. There's a daddy who cares for a little who acts like a little girl. This is basically like pedophilia.
I can't believe this 15-year-old doesn't understand DDLG when most of their childhood sexual trauma came from DDLG. Oh my god, I wonder why. Here's the thing, right? Sleepy She actually contacted me and said that Ponder had dug through my old DeviantArt journals and saw me venting about my child predator father who molested me. Thank you,
Did
Yen.
you see it?
Yes, I did see it. Did I see my dad's penis? I absolutely did. I saw a lot of things. Anyways. All jokes aside, Goat, I think you might have muted by accident. Also, no, don't say I'm sorry, okay? I like joking about it. I find it funny. But yeah, the reason why I was against DDLG was because I had a father who got turned on by the idea. I can't even. It's so fucking weird. Alright. GoatCatto's dad liked to dress up in diapers and jerk himself off in front of me along with other things. It's okay, Chris, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, that's why I hated DDLG, and I was like, yeah, it's inherently pedophilic.
Didn't think I'd have to talk about the DDLG kink, but here we
I did not have a good... Ace! You like joking about your dad's cock weird? Dude, the TTS is fucking broken. Is that technically DDLG or is that adult baby diaper lover? I don't know. What would you call a 70-year-old man who wants to act like he's a little boy and write you notes about how he's been like a bad boy at school and how your 4 to 5-year-old daughter should punish him? What would you call that? Yeah, he was my grandfather. My biological grandmother raised me, okay?
I guess. So to start
So,
things off,
yeah.
no, it's not like pedophilia.
Oh yeah, fun
You're-
fact about those two, they met online through Facebook and they dated for like a week before getting married. All of my family members that I've reconnected with have have told me this story, and I'm sitting over here, I'm like, damn, girl, you were fucking thirsty for dick or something. Like, what are you doing? And also, after she died, right? She died last year, April 27th, 2024. I ended up getting her, oh my god, how do I word this? She was such a whore, okay? Apparently, she had been divorced like 7 times. She was very toxic to all of them, right? She went on these dating websites. She went on fucking eHarmony. She was subscribed to eHarmony. And so after she died, I got something in the mail addressed to her saying that her payment had declined and to please renew the fucking subscription. She was like 70 years old, still on fucking eHarmony, bro. Also, hi, Samuel. Welcome.
Actually completely wrong on that. Let's discuss what pedophilia is, much as I really don't want to. Pedophilia is what's known as a paraphilia. A paraphilia is a condition characterized by abnormal sexual desires, typically involving extreme or dangerous activities. Another appropriate definition is a condition—
I got her matches in The Inheritance. Shut the fuck up!
Person's sexual arousal and gratification depends on fantasizing
70-year-old rich pedophiles near you. I will say, even though my pedophile dad was a piece of shit, at least I got that fucking money! Bitch, I'm getting a trust fund soon. I'm gonna be fucking rich whenever I actually push myself to get it. But whatever. Did you renew the subscription? I should've. Actually, yeah, I did. That's how I found Ace,
about and engaging in sexual behavior that is atypical and extreme. A paraphilic disorder is something that causes stress or harm either to the person experiencing it or more commonly to the potential object of their sexual desires, and can be centered either in an attraction to a type of central subject like an object or a type of person, or even an animal or a type of behavior. Paraphilic disorders are classified as such if the presence of the behavior
GoatCatto stonks are going up, bro.
Sexual gratification. Basically means you can't get off without it. Pedophilia is classified as a paraphilia because there is no such thing as a healthy pedophilic relationship. They are generally predatory in nature. Many pedophiles—
I forgot, why are we explaining what pedophilia is? I obviously fucking know what pedophilia is, bitch. I lived it. Why are you telling other little, like, 12-year-olds? Because that's who this video's aimed to. Children who misunderstood my video. People who are from the age ranges of, like, 10 through 16 years old. This is who she's fucking aiming the video at. Hi, little boys and girls. Octomama's gonna explain to you what pedophilia is, because you're all a bunch of retarded children and you obviously don't know what good touch, bad touch is. Like, come on.
Objectifying their victims rather than being able to see them as potential partners. There's copious amounts of psychological studies that showcase that a relationship between a sexually mature adult and a sexually immature child is detrimental for that child's development. Children are physically incapable of engaging in general sexual activities as their body is underdeveloped, and the general end result is physical and mental harm done to the child. Additionally, the biological function of sex is reproduction, and children are not only physically underdeveloped in that regard, but the younger a party is, the more dangerous the process of childbirth and the greater likelihood for serious potential life-threatening complications. This is why we have sexual development characteristics that we are attracted to, because it tells you—
So what if a kid has big boobs? What would you say then, Ponder? Because you're talking about how, like, oh, well, we're naturally, sexually attracted to, oh my god.
I know what pedophilia is cause I lived IT, cause they are one haha, goat.
I'm not a pedophile! Fuck off! You are one!
To reproduce. It's therein abnormal to be sexually attracted to those who are sexually underdeveloped, as those sexual—
But what if a kid has boobs, bro? Like, I'm not a pedophile, I'm not trying to make a pedophile argument. But, like, what if a kid has boobs? What would your argument be then? Come on.
Development features are clear visual indicators of sexual maturity and the ability to produce healthy offspring.
This ain't a point I, like, thought about on my own. Somebody else said this in a different fucking live stream, okay? This is not my own. Goat, what do you think about minors? I think they should all die.
Whom we might be able to reproduce with, and to be attracted to someone who showcases no visual indicators of being a reproductive partner is abnormal, therefore, paraphilia. DDLG is something different. To start off with, DDLG stands for Daddy Dom Little...
And here we go! And here we go! Oh, fuck. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Here's the process of childbirth and the greater likelihood for serious potential life-threatening complications. This is why we have sexual development characteristics that we are attracted to, because it tells you when somebody is ready to reproduce. It's therein abnormal to be sexually attracted to those who are sexually underdeveloped, as those sexual development features are clear visual indicators of sexual maturity and the ability to produce healthy offspring. We are generally attracted to people whom we might be able to reproduce with, and to be attracted to someone who showcases no visual indicators of being a reproductive partner is abnormal. Therefore, paraphilia. DDLG is something different. To start off with, DDLG stands for Daddy...
Check my announcement in my server and DM 3.
Oh god, what did you send me? What did you send me? What is this? Why are you muted on stream? Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hate you. Hey, guys, at GoatCatto is covering one of Ponder's old oh, okay, that's not the right one. At everyone, for a super positive announcement for those not in the... I'm confused. What am I supposed to be doing? Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna continue.
Dom little girl, and is an age play and role play centric kink. It focuses on one dominant party, that being the daddy dom, and one submissive party, that being the little girl. In an effort to clear things up right from the get-go, it is not incestuous and it is not pedophilia. I recognize that might be a little difficult to understand given the title of the kink, but fear not, I will explain. For one thing, pedophilia is
once again, why are we explaining this to an audience of like 12-year-olds, bro? We don't need to
characterized as a condition where a person is attracted to individuals who are not sexually developed.
Like I said earlier, you can just be like, hey, you're a child. You obviously don't understand anything you're discussing. Maybe don't talk about DDLG, pedophilia, or kinks since you have, like, no understanding of the concept. And it's inappropriate. You shouldn't be engaging in this. You shouldn't be talking about it. I mean, I've said the same thing to other kids who have made, like, call-out videos on fucking maps and shit, and, like, they misunderstand, like, a lot of stuff about it, right? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Who was it? It was somebody else who was, like, talking about a kink being pedophilic in nature when it wasn't, or being quote-unquote problematic, and I was like, hey, you're a child, you probably shouldn't be talking about this, please don't cover this, especially since you also have a child audience, maybe don't talk about these things, maybe stick to normal art commentary,
They have no sexual development features or else very few present on their physical self. DDLG is a kink between consenting adults. Notice the word adult. If the partner that you are attracted to
Notice the word adult. I feel as if it's probably a red flag for a minor to be engaging in these things in general. If they're doing it to cope, that's cool. Keep it private, right? But you're also not helping their case because you're blasting the fact that Sashley's into DDLG for 1.2 million people to see, some of which could have been potential predators who go, oh, well, this little 13-year-old's into DDLG, so, maybe I can slide in their DMs and try to establish a bond with them and be like, I can be your daddy or some shit like that. You don't know what freaks are gonna do. That's why I feel like this shouldn't,
in a DDLG kink scenario is a fully grown adult with adult features and visual indicators of sexual development. It's not pedophilia. By its very definition, it is not pedophilia. If someone was engaging in the DDLG kink, but the DD was an adult and the LG was literally a child, then yes, that would be pedophilia. As for why it's not incestuous, the individuals engaged in the kink are not related. I mean, unless there's an incestuous couple who actually does indulge in the DDLG kink, then it would be incestuous. Incest is a cultural and social taboo because it's effectively a biological taboo. Two individuals who come from the same close family are therein more likely to share a
yes, we know what incest is!
Bad. Quick clarification for anyone who hasn't been through high school biology. You have dominant genes and recessive genes in your genetic code. Dominant genes are ones that we can physically see on you.
Guys, look at me, I'm a 27-year-old, I'm so fucking smart. I'm gonna explain what DDLG is and what incest is, what pedophilia is, and all these BDSM-related topics and blah, blah, blah to my audience of fucking 10-year-olds who, at the beginning of this video, I specified this was aimed for. Wow! What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you fucking doing? I don't care. I do not care. We're gonna talk about genetics now because I'm a smart 27-year-old. Ha ha ha! Like,
and ones that you are affected by. Recessive genes are genes that don't show up physically or don't present as health problems, but they remain in your genetic code with the chance of popping up later down the generational line. For example, if you have one parent with blue eyes and one with brown, and you have brown eyes, then you might carry a recessive blue-eyed trait.
What are you, my fucking biology teacher?
With someone who also has brown eyes and also has a recessive blue-eyed trait and end up with blue-eyed offspring despite both parents having brown eyes. That's the quick summary version. If both parents carry a particularly bad or perhaps a rare genetic disorder, there's an extremely high chance that the child will be affected by it. Incestuous pairings are bad because it increases the likelihood for extreme genetic problems.
Bad guys.
Many royal families engaged in copious amounts of incestuous coupling to keep their
bloodline
pure,
incest bad.
Actually did effectively the opposite. It resulted in hemophilia, porphyria, mental illness, extreme development.
Hemophilia, porphyria.
Girl. Oh my God. Who had a deformed skull, a club foot, scoliosis, a cleft palate, and a weak immune system, and Charles II of.
I'd fuck that guy. Look at his nose. Look at that. Dude, he's got, like, really nice lips, too. Look at that. Just kidding, I wouldn't fuck that guy. He's kind of ugly. Also, hi, Morale, what's up? I'm making a joke. I would not fuck this deformed guy. Plus, he's dead. That would be necrophilia. I don't like necrophilia. Wow.
Spain, whose physical deformities and developmental problems were so obvious that he was referred to as the Bewitched. When Charles II was autopsied, he had one testicle and it had atrophied. We have genetic biological compulsions to seek a sexual partner outside of our immediate family, basically seeking obvious physical traits unlike what we are biologically accustomed to. There's a lot more behind it, but that's, again, the quick summary. The DDLG kink is not incestuous because those involved are not related. There's no no overriding of biological necessities for a broader gene pool because the two parties should already
I don't know,
have
Mao.
different gene pools. I could also understand someone thinking that the DDLG kink somehow promotes
My type is not kids, Meta! Fuck off!
Dresses like a child, but again, the subject of sexual attraction is an of-age adult dressing and acting like a child. The person.
Oh yeah, Cal, you wanna... Why is she debating DDLG kink? I don't know. This entire video is like aimed at fucking children, which is really odd. She's explaining what incest is, what pedophilia is, what DDLG is, what genetics are. Talking about like, well, you have recessive and blah 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 genes, blah 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 blah. Like, I don't care. I don't fucking care.
To the little is still being attracted to someone who is sexually mature.
Wow, I need you to understand. I need you to understand. When I was 15 years old, I was like really fucking evil, right? I made a very bad, very shitty, very piss poor call-out document on a 13-year-old. And then she went on and made a fucking 1.2 million viewed video on me in 2019 about it. It was amazing.
Or at the very least within their age bracket. Even with regards to the clothing and behavior, it's more a matter of recapturing innocence.
She was 27 years old when she stepped into this, mind you.
The daddy dom takes on both the role of a caregiver and that of a protector. They cater to the needs of the little and contain them, discipline them, and punish them if need be. The little gives up their adult control and entrusts themselves to someone who will care for them much in the same way as a father would, either
Evil lizard who had child porn.
Or creating a
and Ponder allowed him to stay in her spaces.
As you grow up, you become more independent. The younger in age,
and she knew about it.
The more control they are relinquishing to their daddy dom, ranging from being of an age where you can dress and eat yourself, but act out and need to be put to bed, to being of an age where all of your needs have to be cared for the daddy dom. The kink is centered in BDSM, but with elements of age regret.
My name is Ponder Sprocket, and I know how to engage in DDLG and change people's diapers or something. Apparently, I don't know, Mao. It gets fucking worse. It gets worse. It gets fucking worse. It gets worse.
It is not pedophilic nor an incestuous kink. As a comparison that any kids watching this video might be able to understand.
Up. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Okay, hold on. All right, chat. Listen to this. This is fucking amazing what she's about to say.
It's not pedophilic nor an incestuous kink. As a comparison that any kids watching this video might be able to understand, you can readily find videos on YouTube that delve into and teach things about the DDLG kink and how to engage in it. You can't readily find videos of pedophiles teaching how to groom children. Please don't try to prove me wrong on that. Just take a moment to think of what you would have to put in the search bar. I don't want people going down that rabbit hole or ending up on some FBI watch list at the age of 12.
Kids at the age of 12. Hi guys, I'm Octomama. If you want to learn about DDLG, there's some step-by-step guides on YouTube. Towards the fucking 12-year-olds, bro. Come on. Hey, little 12-year-olds, if you want to know more about DDLG, which, you know, could inherently end up in you getting groomed, you should look it up online. Yes! She made a video regarding drama between a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, and she's telling children from the age range of 10 through 12, the people who were following my video originally about the fucking 13-year-old, to look this shit up, explaining what DDLG is. Oh, you can look it up on YouTube. Actually, wait, no, don't do that. I don't want 12-year-olds to, you know, have that on their search history. What the fuck are you doing? You're 27 years old. You are 27 years old. Is this why you let Spockter back into your Discord servers where minors were and shit like that, despite knowing that he was 18 years old and still had access to CP? Wow. Wait, I didn't know you could look it up. This is actually a learning moment for me. Look it up, Mao. It's awesome. Trish, are you legit? Is this for real? Yes! Trish is for real. This is real.
Talks for 2.5 pages
it gets
about
worse.
paraphilias and kinks. Please tell me I'm done. Oh heck, we've had too many points I don't want people to try to prove me wrong on that. Just take a moment to think of what you would have to put in the search bar. I don't want people going down that rabbit hole or ending.
Kids don't Google.
Oh no, Mao, he knew, and he kept those nudes on a flash drive, and he held on to them past his 18th birthday. He also, if I remember correctly, did he keep that person around? I don't remember. That'll come out
FBI watch list at the age of 12. I've talked for 2.5 pages about paraphilia.
Also, Mao, you're in for a treat. Toastify is actually making a Spockter video, so if you want to know the lore about this, then yeah, it'll be coming out sometime soon. I don't remember when.
And kinks. Please tell me I'm done. Oh heck, we've had too many points where I've droned on. I think it's time for.
Didn't they specifically decide not to tell Ponder? Ponder knew. Ponder knew. Spockter came to Ponder about this shit. And yeah, Spockter kept that person that he engaged with sexually when he was 17 and there were 13 around past the age of 18, along with keeping their nudes past the age of 18.
A section of video where all of the points are so jumbled I have to cut in so frequently I get whiplash.
Sashley has cheated several times during her
Please. No more. Okay, we're going back.
relationships.
Despite making the claim that it was within multiple relationships that Sashley cheated, only evidence regarding one relationship will ever be brought up in this video or in the evidence for it. Additionally, the Sashley Drama Awareness Wiki has profiles for Sashley's exes, Molten Lava, Grin Animates, and Noodles. According to those pages, Molten Lava and Sashley broke up because Molten Lava cheated on Sashley.
I don't care.
And Sashley broke up is
oh my god, there's a better way to address this part too. When it comes to her sexual relations, when it comes to her romantic relations, when it comes to her cheating, just be like, it's not your fucking business. Why do you care? Whether or not she cheated, I don't give a shit. I'm 27. I've got better things to, focus on. Would Ponder Sprocket be my friend? Honestly, you should try, Mrao. You should try. I think that'll go pretty well. It went well with Sai. It'll go great with Ponder.
And only does it specify on Noodles' page that Sashley was cheating. So out of the multiple
oh my god, I don't care. Genuinely. Like, you could just skip this entire part and be like, who gives a fuck? It's a 13-year-old dating another fucking 13-year-old. We can just skip. Come on.
Relationship she has had, and several times she has cheated, only one of them has any indication of cheating from Sashley. And frankly, once we get
Nobody
to cheating
cares.
allegations, I'll explain to you guys why I don't think it was cheating. Finally, people who are cheated.
I, as a 27-year-old, am going to comment on a 13-year-old's cheating allegations. And by comment on it, I mean I'm going to go in depth and try to figure it out instead of saying none of it matters. Please grow the fuck up and move on. I'm 27 years old, by the way. Also, kids, remember, look up DDLG. There's a step-by-step tutorial. Look it up if you want to learn more about it.
Cheating on a future partner as they have already felt their trust being broken and therein recognize the possibility and, to them, potential inevitability that a future partner will cheat on them as well.
She even faked the screenshots she took about Molten abusing her.
Oh my god, not this shit. You can't even see what the fuck is on the screen, dude. I remember Gabe gave me these screenshots, right? And he was like, yeah, and I've ran these things through some sort of software or whatever, and it shows that they're not fake. I don't even know what it fucking says. I just ran with whatever he gave me and was like, yeah guys, this'll get her. So fucking gay.
He looked like a pedophile.
What is this? Look.
He was 16 even though he was
wow. This looks like something a schizophrenic would write on their wall. Just a bunch of pens and ribbons pointing to a bunch of random fucking pictures. Forensically beta. I don't even know how to use that.
She lied about his age.
The app that is being used to prove that Sashley's screenshots are fake is called Forensically Beta. Guess who put a not faked screenshot into Forensically Beta just to test the reliability of the app? Guess who was able to replicate these results with a not faked screenshot? Guess what isn't a reliable means of showcasing that a screenshot is fake?
Laser
Guess who
tag.
now has really bad worries about how this video is going to progress, because that means that this section was Goat saying that the screenshots that Sashley provided to prove that one of her partners was abusing her was faked when it wasn't. Also, absolutely no screenshots showcasing Sashley lying about Molten Lava's age or confirmation of his real age. None of us should be surprised.
And sure, cheating is bad, but Sashley got involved with something really fucking illegal.
Oh god, here's the part. Okay, I want to clarify before we go into this. This was misworded badly, but I was not trying to victim blame Sashley. I was just talking about yeah, Sashley cheated on Noodles and blah 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 blah. But also, she was involved with something illegal and dangerous. She was involved with a pedophile. You'll see. This is the part where Ponder Sprocket glosses over a fucking 12-year-old and a 17-year-old engaging sexually and says it's just jokes. It's great.
Cheated on Noodles with her friend, Jayleet, a 17-year-old. He's now 18. It was illegal, regardless of the fact that he was 17. He was pretty much an adult.
Did you just blame Sashley for being the child in what you perceived to be a relationship between an adult?
See, I don't know where she got this from. Bro. I'm not saying, yeah, it's her fault. She was the one who groomed the 17-year-old. What are you... I understand that the video, right, it was aimed towards Sashley and shit like that, but this specific part, I don't understand. Let me go back. But
Sashley got involved with something really fucking illegal. She cheated on Noodles with her friend, Jayleet, a 17-year-old. He's now 18. It was illegal, regardless of the fact that he was 17. He was pretty much an adult.
Did Did you?
She also just cuts me off before I can go further into it, which is amazing.
What you perceive to be a relationship between an adult and a child? What? No. You don't get to just move on past that. Even if we consider that this was an inappropriate relationship, why are you blaming the person who would be considered the victim?
I didn't blame
any legal address of this case.
I didn't blame.
Sashley is the child in this situation. She is not at fault if an adult were to effectively take advantage of her. You're basically accusing her of reverse pedophilia, which isn't a thing, by the way.
I didn't do that!
I can't even fathom how you managed to get yourself to...
I did. You're accusing Sashley of reverse pedophilia? What? What the fuck are you on about? Oh, am I insane? Did you guys get the same conclusion after listening to what I had just said? Or am I like... Am I deaf? Am I too autistic to understand? Like, what? Guys, did I victim blame Sashley or claim that she was... pulling a reverse card on a fucking predator? I'm so confused. I can't be insane.
At that point, you need to have some intense bias against Sashley to come up with a scenario where the victim of pedophilia...
I kind of get it, because I don't know why you would have an entire video calling out a 13-year-old beefing with her and being like, oh, she might be groomed, by the way. Okay, so this was actually, like, the first video I made, if I'm remembering correctly. We were supposed to do a separate video on Jay Leet, but Gabe wanted me to talk about Jay Leet in that video. He was like, yeah, I need to talk about Gabe. You need to... Or, not Gabe, oh my god. Gabe told me I needed to talk about Jay Leet in there, so I just kind of, like, slapped it in the middle. It's probably why, you know, it probably came out so weird and jonky. Shouldn't have existed in the first place, I've already acknowledged that, but I can provide context for, you know, some things.
Is the one in the wrong. I guess the trigger warning you put in your disclaimer was kinda needed, because Lord knows, people very well might be triggered by you saying the victim is the one who broke the law and needs to be shamed for it. I am trying so hard not to be angry because I know you're like 15, but I mean, come on! To actually...
I'm trying not to be angry because I know you're like 15 and you're retarded, but come on! Why are you a 15-year-old being retarded on the internet? Like, come on. Come on.
Dual hell with this point. And what do you think you're doing with this whole, well, he's 17, may as well count him as an adult? That's not how that works. If you consider 17 to be so close to adult age that you could legally consider them an adult, then why not lower the...
No, deadass, Kuro, because, like, this caused Sashley a lot of trauma. My video caused trauma. This one also increased that trauma because, you know, 1.2 million fucking eyes on her. Caused me a bunch of fucking trauma because people went after me for 6 goddamn years. Told me to kill myself, etc., etc. Already talked about that. A lot of harassment, wasn't great, blah, blah, blah. Act like I'm a fucking evil little bitch.
Age to 17 to begin with. But then would you be able to look at a 16-year-old and say, they're close enough. We may as well consider them an adult. Where would the cutoff point for, well, we may as well consider them an adult even be? And does it work in reverse?
Hey, Auntie Brooke! Yeah? B! Yeah? You're 27, right? Yeah. You got confused for a 17-year-old at the liquor store the other day, right? What of it? If you see...
Yeah, she does this little, like, roleplay thing where, like, Ponder Sprocket is her character, and then she has her real self, who's B over there, so they, like, engage and shit.
Even close enough, does that mean that if someone has sex with you, they could be charged for statutory rape and sex with a minor?
What are you, fucking gay?
And she didn't even take the fact that she was cheating seriously.
Probably because, according to Sashley, she didn't cheat. I'm honestly not entirely convinced that Sashley and her significant other just don't have different definitions of what constitutes as cheating, and I really feel like...
And also, if she cheats, who gives a shit, bruh?
They should discuss it in depth in their own time.
JLEET and Sashley had a daddy-dumb little girl relationship.
Oh great, you can't even fucking read this, hold on.
And she often referred to him as Poppy or Daddy. JLeet called her his mate and even went into detail talking about how he wanted to have sex with her.
And Sashley is the one who's at fault? Actually, before
I never said that she was at fault, bitch!
we move away from this argument, I want to point something out. None of the screenshots that GoatCatto is presenting here actually showcases anything sexual between Jayleet and Sashley. Let's really look at what these say. The first image has Sashley offering cuddles. Jayleet appreciates...
No, I'll cuddle you instead. Cuddles. Jayleet. Yes, oh my god, you know me so well. By the way, this is a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old. 12-yeart and a 17-year-old. Mind you, 12 and 17. 12 and 17. I love you so much. I need you in my life. I'd cuddle you so much. God, I need that so much. I want to cuddle. Heart, heart. You're so cute. What the fuck? You're amazing.
And reciprocating cuddles. More cuddles. Sashley saying Jayleet is cute and some hearts.
Romantic.
The second is Jayleet.
I want to cuddle you so bad. Just hold you so tight and same. Yes, that sounds amazing. It would be. It'd be so chill. I'd be so happy. Oh, that's adorable. I love you. I love
saying
you
he
more.
wants to cuddle Sashley. Sashley saying it's a mutual feeling that she loves cuddles. Jayleet saying that Sashley is adorable and Sashley reciprocating. The third makes a joke towards sex, but quickly has...
This is where she blatantly misrepresents shit. Jayleet says, incest time. Sashley says, let's perform incest sex, only with you. I'm desperate. Bro, I really need to stop this. I lose any sort of boundaries when I'm turned on. I'm gonna get into some shit. Blah, me. Please no leaky. I won't. You can trust me, Poppy. You almost sent screenshots of shit I said when I was turned on to the group chat, though. I could have gotten into some shit. Now let's see how she fucking sweeps for this. 12-year-old and a 17-year-old. 17-year-old clearly fucking predating on a 12-year-old. Andy had a history of this, apparently. And she's gonna sweep it under the rug.
Jayleet saying that he needs to stop because he doesn't want to cross boundaries. Sashley makes a joke, and Jayleet specifies that he doesn't want to get in trouble. And the fourth has them saying hello and I love you to one...
You did not read the entire fucking screenshot. Oh, well, he states a boundary and he says he doesn't want to get in trouble. Did you read the entire fucking thing? Or are you just blind? Because of your goddamn video. Which, screenshot time, by the way. In case you don't fucking believe me, let me find it. This would have been like what? Maybe 5-6 months ago, right? Noodles referring to me cheating was me being groomed by someone who was 17 when I was 12 or 13 named Jayleet. Crazy. But guys, they're just friends. They're just being, platonic, and there's no grooming going on here, despite the 17-year-old telling the 12-year-old to keep a secret and not to leak the fact that he's horny, and said that she almost leaked what he said last time he was turned on, sexting her. Interesting. They're just friends, though.
Spams with love, and mutual indications that the other is amazing and cute. None of these screenshots actually showcase any sort of sexual relationship between Jayleet and Sashley. In fact,
You're actually fucking retarded. I'm sorry, Ponder. I didn't want to call you that. But how the fuck do you look at that and go, yeah, there's nothing sexual there. There's nothing sexual there. There's nothing sexual there. People called me a victim blamer for trying to call this guy out, and then she comes in and says that the very thing I'm providing screenshots of isn't even that bad. Oh, they're just friends, and nothing you showed proves the fact that they were sexual with each other. A 17-year-old and a 12-year-old have no fucking... They don't need to be engaging in this way, okay? Not blaming the 12-year-old. The 12-year-old doesn't know better. The 17-year-old definitely fucking knows better. Oh my god. They're telling the child to keep a fucking secret.
And I love you to one another with morning cuddles, spams with love, and mutual indications that the other is amazing and cute. None of these screenshots actually showcase any sort of sexual relationship between Jayleet and Sashley. In fact, the third screenshot expressly indicates that Jayleet knows where his boundaries are and doesn't want to cross them with Sashley.
You are stupid. He's saying he needs to be careful. He's gonna get in trouble. She almost leaked what he said last time he was horny. He's telling her to keep it a secret this fucking time. What are you talking about? Also, yeah, they shouldn't have been blasted online at all. Her kinks... this video, my video, nobody needed to be discussing this shit. My god.
Even puts a stop to a potentially inappropriate conversation with Sashley, as an adult should do. The screenshots do show that the two of them enjoyed cuddles, and that they could have been very close friends who were very openly supportive of one another. I know I've certainly said, I love you, you're cute, and you're amazing to my friends.
But did you tell your friend not to leak the fact that you as a I'm not even gonna be fucking gay. I'm not even gonna be fucking gay about this, alright? But do you tell your friends when you're sexual to them to keep it a secret? When they're sick. I just can't. I can't.
Heck,
it's so
this is
fucking
from
brain
Sashley's
rot.
Vent account where she tells another friend that they're cool and amazing and it is littered with hearts. Frankly, if this is the extent of the cheating allegations, yeah, I kind of agree with Sashley. She wasn't cheating. Maybe Sashley
She was groomed. She wasn't cheating. She was fucking groomed. Duh. But you're just gonna gloss over that. You're gonna fucking gloss over that. Yeah, a 17-year-old telling a 12-year-old to keep a secret about them being sexual in DMs. Like, fuck off.
Discuss how Sashley openly expresses her support of her friends, and maybe that if she tone it back with certain things, there would be less discomfort. But if this is the extent of what you have to showcase that Sashley and Jayleet were being inappropriate, I don't think she's in the wrong, nor is she lying when she says she didn't cheat.
Now
obviously, she's not in the wrong. She was being groomed.
Duh. She was not and still is not at the...
Cheat.
Now keep in mind, Sashley was 12 years old. She was not not and still is not at the age of consent at all, and Jaylee was 17.
Hi. Excuse me, but what?
What do you mean? What are we arguing about here? Sorry.
Sashley was 12 years old. She was not and still is not at the age of consent at all, and Jaylee was 17.
Hi.
Okay.
Excuse me, but what? Did you just... Okay, Goat, you just effectively, based on your own scenario that you were proposing, blamed a victim of child...
I didn't do that! What? Why do you keep repeating this point? What? You know, I was wondering where people got this narrative of, oh, you victim blamed Sashley for fucking years. You're like, people will see me and be like, oh, aren't you that one person who victim blamed a 13-year-old? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Child grooming for being in a pedophilic relationship. You bring up the age of consent, but the reason the age of consent is a thing is because children do not have the mental wherewithal to give...
I bring up the age of consent because she was 12 years old and Noodles, Jaylee was 17 years old, 1 year away from the age of consent. If these interactions had continued and he hit 18 and Sashley was 13 engaging with this 18-year-old, would you have a problem then? Would you have a problem then? Oh, what's one more year? Oh, 1 more year? Yeah, you're 18. I know you were 17 when you started sexting this 12-year-old, but now you're an actual adult, so now I'm gonna hold you accountable. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I didn't victim blame, and you literally glossed over evidence of her being fucking groomed and painted it as, oh, they're just being friends.
The go-ahead for sexual interactions. That's why the responsibility lies with the adult to not take advantage of them. That means that people below the age of 18 are not mentally or physically developed enough to give sexual permission to others.
Wow. It's almost like you're proving my fucking point about why a 12-year-old engaging with a 17-year-old is an issue. Wow. Where's the fucking argument?
That's why it's bad for adults to take advantage of them. Sashley, who would have been 12 at this point, would be the child in this scenario, meaning...
No shit! I said she wasn't anywhere near the age of consent! Oh my god!
Sashley doesn't have the ability to consent to Jaylee. Even just, look, remove Sashley's name from the equation. Based on what you have stated by saying that Jaylee was pretty much an adult, what do you have? A 12-year-old dated an adult. In what world do you manage to convince yourself that the 12-year-old, someone who...
Why do you keep saying this? She said it at least fucking 4 times now. Oh my god. I did not victim blame Sashley. I did not victim blame Sashley. I did not victim blame Sashley. I was saying that she was 12 years old and he was 17. She was nowhere near the age of consent and he was 1 year away. This is obviously a fucking issue. The issue isn't that she cheated. It's the fact that, oh, hey, this one time that she cheated, it actually ended up being an instance of grooming. Horrible fucking wording. I'll admit that, right? L on my end. But I did not victim blame. Looking back at what I said, specifically, I did not victim blame. And how are you just glossing over the fact that this child was being predated on and then excusing it with, well, they're just friends, they're just friends, they're just friends, they're just friends.
The law has stipulated...
I was like, yeah, they're not little babies, but they're not full-grown adults either. But they're old enough to not be fucking engaging with 12-year-olds sexually. But Ponder thinks that's fine. You know, it really brings into question, did she think the Sprockets shit was that bad? You know, whenever he was, had child porn on his hard drive past the age of 18 of a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, something like that? Interesting.
Mental capacity to consent to sexual relationships because they are literally not intelligent, mature, or developed enough to do so is the one in the wrong for that relationship happening.
I didn't say so.
Who is Jaylee? Jaylee was Kitty Dog and Typh's boyfriend at one point. He was known to mentally abuse and manipulate girls into giving him what he wanted, and he was also into rape and other yucky shit.
And Sashley's the one in the wrong?
I will say, for this segment, if I were to go back, obviously the video shouldn't fucking exist in general, right? But if I were to go back and fix this specific segment regarding, like, Sashley favoriting Jaylee, it's not safe for work, I would say the issue here is the fact that a 12-year-old is fucking, oh my god, a 12-year-old is being exposed to porn.
What? This guy has an alleged track record of mentally abusing and manipulating girls and is into rape and other disgusting things, none of which I'm actually going to try and prove, but the 12-year-old allegedly in a relationship with him is the disgusting one who needs to be stopped.
I did not say that.
How? Oh yeah, and no screenshots provided for anything said here, so why should I believe a single word you're saying on literally anything here?
He even brute. Child porn of the type boot. Like character.
Dude, I keep trying to pause. And it pauses at the worst fucking parts. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh my god. Okay. That thing that he favorited, that was not a kid. That was just a male model. Wasn't a kid. Wasn't a kid. I'm so sorry. I also don't know why she kept this in. Please, I'm sorry.
I hate God. Okay, logic time. So for one thing, no, that's not child porn. Child pornography is legally defined as
also, the whole thing about how, like, oh, well, you didn't provide screenshots of him abusing these other people and stuff like that, so I'm not going to look into that. But you didn't look at the screenshots or look into anything I said regarding the fucking 12-year-old and the 17-year-old engaging sexually, and how I was pointing out that the 17-year-old was in the wrong for that, and that's illegal, most likely.
as a visual depiction, photograph, video, digital, or computer-generated image that is indistinguishable from an actual minor, and images that are created, adapted, or modified, but depict an identifiable actual minor. Additionally, the law has a stipulation that excludes artistic renderings in the cases of them having some sort of intrinsic cultural value. This is why museums can publicly display paintings and sculptures.
I need to show you guys something. This is really funny. She's talking about like the laws of CP and shit like that. It's really, 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 really funny. I just have to go and find it, okay? I just have to scroll up and find it, okay? Okay. This is a little leak. So this is Ponder right here. Totally Woody is Ponder. There's Chuli. Aaron Tempest is involved. That's crazy, right? Anyways, so, Chuli was engaging inappropriately with Junkie. They were drawing suggestive shit like that. Talking about things that an adult probably shouldn't be talking about to a kid, right? And here's Ponder being like, Chuli, you draw porn of Pumpcat with Junkie. Not technically. Ooh, technicalities. Actually, Ursa Tonic found a law and sent it to me involving the technicalities of sending obscene material to minors. I have to look into it myself, but basically it amounts to that art might not count because it's artistic in nature and not explicitly obscene, which, like, it may just be an old law from before the internet. There's very likely an updated law. Didn't you say drawn CP doesn't really mean anything under the eyes of the law? Did she? Did she? Let's look at this.
Video, digital, or computer-generated image that is indistinguishable from an actual minor, and images that are created, adapted, or modified, but depict an identifiable actual minor. Additionally, the law has a stipulation that excludes artistic renderings in the cases of—
Yes, Chuli was a minor in that screenshot. This is 2018. So I think I'm only like 1 year older than Chuli, so they would have been like 14 or 15 at the time, I believe. Ponder would have been 26? 26?
Of them having some sort of intrinsic cultural value. This is why museums can publicly—
Go watch Chuli's video, okay? Look up Chuli, watch her video about Junkie. It talks about Ponder and stuff.
display paintings and sculptures that might contain imagery of children in various levels of dress. Now, granted, the stipulation that any children depicted must be an identifiable minor is a definition that is not applied to drawings, cartoons, sculptures, or paintings depicting minors or adults. This means that even if the minor doesn't exist in the real world, if someone, for example, creates a minor character who was visually identifiable as a minor, though not as a real person, with the intention of drawing inappropriate images of them to act as some sort of artificial surrogate, that would still be classified as child pornography. Obviously, we can look at the image that Goat provided and surmise that it does not fit the general definition, as the character portrayed is not a depiction of an actual minor because it's a furry and not a real person. But even if we take into consideration the exclusion of identifiable minor with cases in cartoons, then it falls to a matter of perception. If we go by the stipulation of the artwork being virtually indistinguishable in the sense that an—
Okay, the whole reason as to why I put that in there was because, once again, that was a Gabe talking point. I don't know shit about Jay Leet other than what Gabe told me, right? Gabe wrote parts of the scripts. Gabe wrote— Oh my god, my cat's being fat. Hi, kitty. Anyways, Gabe told me that essentially the character that Jay Leet drew was a minor or some shit, so I just like blindly believed him because apparently it was originally an OC for Typh when Typh was a minor. I don't fucking know. I don't care.
Ordinary person viewing the depiction would conclude that the depiction is of an actual minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct, then we can recognize that there must be something about the visual design of the character in question that indicates either sexual maturity or sexual immaturity. This is a distinction that is made far more difficult the more conservatively the artist applies recognizable human traits. Art style also plays a huge role in this, as a person could draw a completely of-age character but depict them in an overtly chibi-esque or cutesy manner, or vice versa, a person could take a child character and portray them to look much older than they are. For the most part, if any random person, or at least in the case of a court, a jury of people or a judge can look at a piece of art and determine that the character displayed within is very clearly displayed as a minor, then the artwork would be
I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to speak with authority on certain laws and legal processes.
potentially regarded as child pornography. The problem here is that the character being showcased as an example of this is one drawn in such a style where determining the exact age of a character is difficult, and so I went looking to see if there were any additional mentions of this character on JLeet's page, which there were. Specifically, there was this picture, which not only gives a potentially better indication of the character's age, assuming they were designed with one in mind in the first place, and also has JLeet specifying that the character is a woman. Indication of the character's age.
Oh, wow, look, here, this is what I was talking about. You know how I said that, Gabe said that this was originally a Tithe character and that it was underage or some shit? Making a new character, taking suggestions for a design, I guess, but I need a woman character so I can burn the Riha character that I made. That was definitely not a rip-off of Tithe's character, Lamau. Okay, so I don't even know.
With one in mind in the first place, and also has JLeet specifying that the character is a woman. Not a girl, a woman. There is nothing about this character's design that could lead us to the sole conclusion that it is meant to be a child. At this point, this is only an assumption on your end, one that you have not indicated reasoning behind, and possibly one that has been tainted by your own perception of JLeet as a person, which could very well be wrong considering some of the evidence you have used to support this assumption within this video does not actually showcase what you believe it to, that being the conversation between Sashley and JLeet. Another thing to point out is, if this was
it's almost like I was
actually
misinformed and I
considered to be
didn't know
child
what the fuck I was
pornography,
talking about. You could have told me that in private.
It so openly on DeviantArt. Why do you
This is actually the worst fucking argument. This is the worst argument. If it was actually child pornography, then why would it be on DeviantArt? What was the name of that one robot from Dexter's Laboratory? Or whatever the fuck it was called. Jenny the Robot or some shit. Do you know the amount of porn I've seen of her on DeviantArt as a child growing up? Do you know the amount of My Little Pony like underage porn I saw growing up? There's a lot of drawn child porn on DeviantArt, man. It's not something that's like shocking to learn about. Guys, there would never be child porn on Twitter. I mean, that's so, like, you know, open and shit, right? Like, the argument is so dumb. So dumb.
actually think that you'd be able to go to JLeet's DeviantArt page, oh, there's the child porn evidence I need, save that screenshot, and then put it into a...
Also, yes, drawn porn is not comparable to real CP. I'm just talking about the fact that she's all like, well, if it was underage, why would it be on DeviantArt? That's just kind of dumb.
Public YouTube video.
You can find that on any site.
Noodles eventually found out
Oh no!
Screenshot quality.
Not another
about this
one.
and confronted Sashley about her cheating on him. He ended up cutting himself because of her and the stuff she pulled.
Yeah, that's right. Blame the 13-year-old for actions that allegedly caused another child with self-harm issues to harm themselves. It's not like that's disgusting and toxic behavior.
Yeah, it is, but once again, you know how in my previous stream I noted that Gabe said that Noodles was pressuring him behind the scenes to pressure me into releasing this video along with the other ones and shit like that, right? I wonder why the narrative is so anti-Sashley and pro-Noodles. Rather interesting, I think. But yeah, no, this argument was very stupid and I want to kill myself listening to it.
You're in the slightest. It's not like one of the same reasons as to why they can't consent to sex, that being because they're too mentally immature, is a reason why you can't hold something like that above a child's head, because they're too immature to recognize, address, or properly act upon that knowledge. You do not get to—
Oh my god, not the Cinny Bear Ponder shit. You remember when Cinny Bear was talking about being horny and wanting to like jerk off in church while listening to Ponder Sprocket? That was really fucking funny.
blame one person for the self-harm committed by another. It would be a different case if you could provide screenshots of Sashley telling Noodles to hurt himself, but you haven't provided that. All you've said is that Sashley did a bad thing and Noodles harmed himself in response, which doesn't automatically make it Sashley's fault, and to imply that it does is disgusting and showcases that you don't know how mental health works. To imply that a person is responsible for another person harming themselves when they had no direct means of knowing that person would do that sets a—
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Also, I get where you're coming from. What's your name again? Kuro. I get what she means, but like...
terrible precedent. If everybody started believing that it was someone else's direct fault for a person harming themselves, guess what would happen? Nobody would ever want to be friends with someone with mental health issues, because if that person ever harmed themselves, their friends would be directly blamed for that action, even if they had nothing to do with it. Children basically have no foresight or ability to predict the consequences of their actions. They get better with it over time, but at Sashley's age, it is extremely unlikely that she—
Yeah, of course Cindy took Ponder's takes, because Cindy, like, looked up to Ponder, bruh.
be able to predict the consequences of how she acted, or even that consequences like that might have existed. Much like how I assume you didn't predict that this video would not have me on your side and was going to be incredibly tasteless and tactless for you to make in the first place.
But apparently they ended up making up with each other or something.
So Noodles
Or
and Sashley,
something.
the only two
Dude.
people who should be discussing their personal relationship and the issues they are facing with regards to their trust and communication skills, or at least that's what they should be doing, but their kids, I don't fucking know, maybe they talk about jello frogs, I didn't date at that age, talks things out and have put it behind them. But GoatCatto is totally justified in making their already solved personal relationship problems public, likely pouring salt in the wound and directing a lot of negative attention their way. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it's rather confusing when, like, everybody was fucking fighting in the drama server about it, being like, well, she did cheat, or she didn't cheat. It was just messy, confusing. I didn't know what was real, what was fake, what had been resolved, what hadn't been resolved, because I was 15 years old running with whatever the fuck I was given. You, on the other hand, didn't make any mention about this whole thing being resolved a week to 2 weeks before your video came out. Hop up my cock.
What I'm upset about is the fact that nobody reported this at all.
Like, I get it, right? I'm just a little
Even if it
salty
was
because it's
only
like, you
on the
could have
internet.
fucking mentioned that. You could have mentioned that.
It's not. It's literally not. Shut your face.
It is not illegal for a 18-year-old to have a social relationship with a 13-year-old of the opposite sex. It is statutory rape.
Wow, the delivery of that text-to-speech bot is really not doing this video any favors. It's not illegal, it's statutory rape.
However, if there is any sexual activity between the two parties, this means that if the 18-year-old started being sexual towards the 13-year-old via the internet or in real life, it's illegal.
Too bad you didn't showcase that happening and therein of no grounds and
Yeah, sure, it wasn't an 18-year-old, but it was still like a 12-year-old and a fucking 17-year-old. The whole concern was the fact that J-Late was most likely doing it when he was 18 and Sashley was 13, because at the time that this video came out, he had turned 18 years old, and Sashley was still on good terms with him.
which for your argument to stand.
Now that I've discussed that, I'd like to talk about the tracing Brahma and vent copying Brahma. Now, as some of you know, Sashley has an alt YouTube account that she mainly posts whips and vents on.
Unrelated to what Goat is saying, but related to the art being displayed, it's not outright stated in the comment here, but both of these are commissions done by Sashley for other people. The comment implies
Oh my God, I
that
don't
Sashley
care.
couldn't see
I don't
here
care.
weapon
I don't
trace.
care.
The
I don't
One
care. I'm
Piece
skipping
portions
over
right
this.
praise.
I don't care.
What type of logic even is that?
Perfectly
Oh my
reasonable
God,
explanation. Copy
gay,
you, or people think it's content, but thank you.
gay,
Also,
gay,
to expand
gay,
about
gay,
people that don't just
gay,
getting so mad
gay.
at it, but I guess
Don't
it's
care.
note that Sashley
Don't
events
care.
was in
Don't
tier
care.
is for
This is
I
really,
dumping for
really
events,
petty stuff that
more
doesn't
consequences of their
matter.
acting that they
Petty
hence
stuff
her
doesn't matter.
doesn't want
Doesn't
from
matter.
events of,
Doesn't
do
matter.
not do
Doesn't
that with
matter.
dogs, the
Doesn't
animation
matter.
community, and
Doesn't
more
matter.
hashtag,
Oh my
that
God.
nothing suggests you would
Does
look
it?
for
Does it?
emotional,
Does
whatever
it?
non-common
Oh my God.
visuals and seriously
Doesn't matter.
but it's
Doesn't
possible to
matter.
literally credit. So it's
Doesn't
very possible
matter.
every facet of the
Doesn't
work or
matter.
stick the events of other people.
Doesn't
At
matter.
the moment of scripting, 13 of those videos are vents.
No,
The inspired
oh my
video in
God.
the description fired by memes team, which are not memes, predict the events of others. If you try to count the unknown.
Once again, please note that this is not an attack on Sashley.
You blamed Sashley for being the child in what you thought was
I
an
didn't-
inappropriate
I did not-
relationship
I did
between
not
a child
blame
and an
her.
adult. You
Stop.
are also using screenshots and events ranging from
She keeps fucking saying this. How many times is she gonna say
when
this?
Sashley was 11 to her current age of 13. This is most definitely an attack on Sashley.
And I know some of this is old Brahma. But
Well,
it's-
yeah, it was an attack on Sashley. I didn't think it was, right? Because I was a fucking dumbass. But the people behind the video definitely were trying to attack Sashley. I just thought that they weren't lying because, oh, well, they have evidence.
still not acceptable.
It kinda is, given her age.
I just want her to be more mature and more careful when she does this stuff.
When she does this stuff throughout this
Yeah, I would prefer her not to be groomed by pedophiles or anything like that. Yeah.
entire video, you've been saying
Like, yes. The video shouldn't have existed, right? But, like, fuck.
that Sashley shouldn't be involved in stuff of this nature because it's illegal, pedophilic, and incestuous. Now you're saying that she just
I'm saying she shouldn't. Okay. Me personally, I don't think a 13-year-old should be engaging in DDLG. You know why? Because I feel like that opens up the gateway for predators to come in and try to establish a bond with them using, you know, the whole DDLG fetish shit or whatever the fuck. I also don't think that it's entirely unwarranted for me to say, I hope she's, like, being careful in the future in regards to being predated on. Not because it's her fault. I'm just saying, hey, watch out. 12-year-old and a 17-year-old don't need to, you know, be engaging sexually with each other, please.
needs to be more mature when doing this stuff. Hi,
27 years
Captain
old,
Obvious
Fuzzy.
here. If she was more mature when doing the things you think she is doing, she'd still be doing something illegal. You're basically telling
When I say more mature, I mean when she's fucking 18, bruh.
her, do this when you're more mature and therein breaking the law would be less acceptable.
I don't want her.
What? Wait until you're 18 years old / more mature Well, you would still be breaking the law. No, I think that adults should only be engaging in those kinks, bro.
To get groomed by pedophiles.
Yeah, no. If that was actually what you were concerned about, then why did you literally blame the perceived victim of this situation?
I didn't.
You
I did not.
the
Oh my god.
That Sashley could be groomed by pedophiles.
Holy shit.
But apparently failed to realize.
Y'all, how many times has she said this shit? You literally victim blamed. You literally victim blamed. You literally victim blamed. You literally. Oh my god. We get it, except that didn't even happen. But we fucking get it, Ponder.
That if that had been the case here, then Sashley's actions would have been the result of grooming.
But I still don't know why people defend her toxic and disgusting behavior.
Because she's 13! Are you
Yes, she's the 13-year-old.
seriously telling me that when you were 12 or 13, you never did anything that you look back on now and realize was a really dumb thing to do? Yes, when Sashley is 18 or 20, she's going to look back on this time in her life and regret some of her actions. But that doesn't mean in the present day she should be publicly called out and shamed or canceled for it, which is exactly what...
Hello? What was that again, Ponder?
Yes, when Sashley is 18 or 20, she's going to look back on this time in her life and regret some of her actions. But that doesn't mean in the present day she should be publicly called out and shamed or canceled for it, which is exactly what it seems like you're trying to do based on what I've been reading in your community tab. Oh yeah, fun note on that.
Interesting. So what about you spreading a false narrative about me, victim blaming and stuff like that? Pretty interesting. What about putting me on blast? Putting Sashley further on blast, her sex life further on blast.
But I swear to God, if she says she's innocent and she plays the victim card, then she...
Yeah, this shit was gay, this shit was gay, this shit was gay, okay? It was very gay, very gay, very gay. I am ashamed, okay? I don't know how to talk about this. Ponder should have approached you prior to making this video. It's ridiculous that she didn't. Yeah. October 26, 2019. It doesn't justify you going on a blah, 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 blah. I'm glad you regret it, but the evidence you've brought forth still needs to be disproven. Which is cool, right? You can disprove the allegations without mentioning me. You can just be like, hey guys, here's the allegations against Sashley. This is bullshit. This is inappropriate. I'm not going to dive into that. Please leave this 13-year-old alone. Thank you. 6 days. 6 days. That was last Friday, so 6 days. So October 20th. So, oh my god, my cat, stop. Anyways, 6 days, right? So this was 2 weeks ago. So yes, 2 weeks before the fucking video was released, okay? Last Friday, in the screenshot. Video was posted October 2019. October 26, 2019, getting the goat on another Sashley drama.
You mean like in the scenario you've been putting forth where she literally would be the victim?
I don't want her to get attacked or become Birdie 2.0.
Yeah, I have no idea what that ending thing said.
I honestly feel sorry for her. She's being enabled by pedophiles and she has legit mental health issues due to mental stress and neglect at her home, and abuse from Garbage, a user on Discord known for using and abusing people.
Oh god, Garbage. You know what's really fucking funny? Because of this drama, actually there's two really fucking funny things. So, this drama happened October 2019. I started dating Birdie November 2019. I bonded with Birdie because of the backlash that Ponder's fucking video got me. That is why we, bonded. Because we were both little kids who got put on blast for thousands of fucking people to see. And I vented to Birdie about that, and he understood me. And then we dated. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It's not great. And Gabe, the person behind the Sashley drama, right? Guess what? And yeah, Sashley was another fucking minor. Gabe was also behind me dating Birdie, or at least continuing to date Birdie. I'd already had feelings for Birdie, right? But Gabe was all like, oh, if you do establish, a relationship with Birdie, I can help you help Birdie. And so we started by trying to not enable the bad behaviors like doxing Heimguts and shit like that. And I would report all that shit back to Gabe and be like, why is he doing this? He's doing this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then once me and Birdie got into, like, the rough part of our relationship and shit like that, right? I went to Gabe and I was like, I don't know if I want to date Birdie anymore. Like, he's making me uncomfortable. He's doxing his ex. He won't shut up about his ex. He's drawing old ship children regarding his ex and stuff like that, right? No, it wasn't gay-opping. We were trying to help him. There was no malicious intent. But when I went to Gabe being like, hey, you know, hey, this isn't really going well. I feel emotionally neglected in some senses. He was like, well, you can't leave yet. You can't leave yet. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, stay with Birdie longer. You need to stay with him longer. Gabe was the person who manipulated me into making this video. Anyways, the other thing I was going to say is, I mentioned Garbage here, right? Garbage ended up kind of, I wouldn't say grooming me, but she was a 28-year-old woman who ended up establishing a close bond with me and tried to isolate me from the community, encouraged me to stay in a abusive relationship, and suggested that I leave my community and stay with my fucking abuser on a different account with no contact with anybody from this community. And that lasted for a few months. It was great. Awesome.
Which is why I shamed her for being the victim of that alleged abuse, shamed her for having a DDLG kink, which can help a person to cope with that abuse, blamed her for another person with mental health issues harming themselves, put forward a situation that implied she was being groomed, and then blamed her for the signs that indicated that she could have been groomed.
Didn't blame her for that.
Could have led to further
the rest of it,
She
you
was
know,
also
rest of it is fair,
allegedly
but I did not victim blame.
Bad.
Then why
This
are
shit
you
is gay.
blaming Sashley for Noodles harming himself? Why are you blaming Sashley?
It was
for
never her
anything
fault.
If you're acknowledging the possibility
Never her
that the person
fault.
whom she's with, who would be at the center of a lot of her behavior, is potentially
God.
abusive. If Sashley was being abused and her behavior was the result of the abuse she's experienced in her life, then you are blaming her for being a victim of abuse and acting like a victim of abuse.
And he even asked her for explicit pictures of her body.
Oh my God.
And guess what, folks? That's child porn.
Wow, the
Oh
first
my
instance
God.
where you were actually correct on something. Too bad this video is calling out the person who was being
Guess what, folks? Children sending nudes of each other. That's child porn. Thank you, GoatCatto. Thank you, GoatCatto. Wow, shocking revelation. Where are we talking about this? It's a fucking kid. Yeah, kids, don't send nudes to each other. That's bad. But why are we putting this in a fucking call-out video?
asked for those pictures, not the person who was asking for them, because we live in a society, I guess.
And yes, I know that Sashley is just a kid, but she needs to realize that this stuff is not acceptable.
So do you, apparently.
She needs to grow up and take control of situations, or at least report them.
You know what's funny,
So
Ace, we actually
Sashley is
went
at
over
fault
that
again
earlier.
because she's
I
too
showed
young.
that
She needs
screenshot.
to grow up. I can't. Oh, you're literally blaming a child for being a child at this point.
I'm not trying to ruin her
Ponder
life.
needs to
I'm
lose
just
speaking pro.
Thank you for the $4.99, Miracle. Ponder needs to lose speaking pro.
trying to get stuff to change. I apologize if I left anything out.
I guess that's what the second video is for, right? Yeah. On to the next video.
Oh god, the second video, okay, context, right? I talked about how the first video, I took it down after talking to Sashley and Noodles, and then I got yelled at, so I put it back up, and then I took it back down, and then I got pressured into making another fucking video, in which Gabe wrote more of, obviously. Kenny also wrote part of it. Kenny via Streamline Workshop actually made a video about that person, but fuck me.
Yo.
Before I
This one's awful. I'm just gonna straight up say it. This one is fucking shit. Both of them are shit, but this one is worse, I think.
list the rest of the disclaimers, please note that if you're sensitive to the topic of child porn, pedophilia, mental abuse, and other upsetting things, then you should click off of this video. Hello, before you scroll down to post a comment, I'm talking to you. White Knights, please take time to watch this video and think thoroughly about this situation.
It's bad for Sashley to copy the vents of others, but say you can't copy her
Oh my
vents.
God, here we go.
Meanwhile,
Here
in
we
Goat's
go.
universe,
Here
don't
we
comment
go.
on this video unless you've thought thoroughly about the situation, something that I definitely can't be accused of doing.
And don't harass others.
What? What? What are you talking about, girl? What?
Hello, before you scroll down to post a comment, I'm talking to you. White Knights, please take time to watch this video and think thoroughly about this situation.
It's bad for Sashley to copy the vents of others, but say you can't copy her vents. Meanwhile,
we
in
on
Goat's
about?
universe, don't comment on this video unless you've thought thoroughly about the situation, something that I definitely can't be accused of doing.
What are you
And don't harass
talking
others who
about?
don't agree with you. And please don't go witch hunt people in this video. You can if you want to, but I highly
so
advise
lost.
against doing that.
Good to know that nobody learns.
This is not an attack on anybody.
Nobody learns. Yeah, you didn't fucking tell me, dipshit. What do you mean nobody learns? Nobody told me. Nobody told me. What are you on about? What are you doing?
And please, for the love of God, don't fucking dox her. Doxing people is unacceptable and illegal. If I find out you've doxed her, I won't hesitate to report you. Sashley is a child. I don't care how much you hate her. She doesn't need to be doxed. She simply needs help and guidance.
Is that what your first video was supposed to be? Help and guidance? Really?
No, it definitely
Alright,
was not.
so let's begin. Sashley is a popular YouTuber known for their animation memes, and she currently has almost 500k subscribers.
Oh my God,
She's also
I'm gonna
known for
kill
being in a
myself.
lot of drama, such as the casual Susan drama, and other things, which I went into detail about in my other video.
And which is still stupid as all hell. I'm gonna skip the next little bit of the video because it just reiterates the whole casual Susan thing that I've already gone over.
Last year, Sashley leaked Susan's school and face.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
calling
God,
almost
here we
complete
go.
bull on this, and it's for a bunch of reasons. Firstly, I've been talking to Melody on Instagram, the person who came to me asking me to get involved in the drama originally.
Listen, little petty kids online being petty and shit like that. The whole thing we were calling her out for was because there's a screenshot where Sashley says that they have casual Susan's, like, face and school and name or something. So we were like, oh my God, she's trying to dox Susan or something like that.
Against Sashley. When I asked them about the dox attempts and whether any evidence of Sashley doxing people exists,
She was too mad at Susan, I believe, and Sashley... Okay, so this... And Sashley got to the point to leak Susan's school and face. I might have already mentioned this to you. She also tried to get someone else's mom to get them in trouble for just existing. It was just rumors.
they originally
Just
sent me a
rumors.
screenshot of someone just saying, yeah, Sashley doxed me. When I explained that this wasn't evidence of the crime and was only hearsay, which I also had to explain, they tried to get more evidence, which ultimately resulted in emails supposedly from Susan to, I guess, someone at her school indicating that she had been doxed. Problems with that. Not only do the emails they sent me not actually indicate that the dox happened, it doesn't even confirm that the emails were sent, just that they were written.
Yeah, no, deadass, why are you asking Melody instead of Goat? I don't know who Melody is. People say that Melody is somebody that I knew, but I don't recall that. I don't recall that account at all. I don't recall that account at all. This is something I said in somebody's server and in somebody's stream too. If Ponder had reached out to me and talked to me about how all of this was like fucked up and shit, I would have taken the video down immediately and I would have put up a statement debunking claims if she had helped me. Okay? Because obviously she had the ability to go digging for shit like this, but I didn't because I'm a dumb fucking 15-year-old, bruh. I can't say that she's being malicious with this. I'm just saying that she's being really fucking dumb because it's really easy to reach out to all parties involved and ask them for clarity on certain points or, you know, I don't know, give them behind the scenes advice like I did with Yummy Cactus and Cupidity, being like, hey, maybe you should take this down and make a statement. Hey, don't do this. Hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. I don't agree with what's in your video. It's not what you think it is. Let's talk about it. I would have been fully willing to make another video debunking the allegations on my own, since it would have been my own responsibility to clear up what I spread. And I will forever stand by that. Just saying.
I firmly asked for a screenshot that showed Sashley doxing Susan. Melody then went on to say that they were looking into finding the evidence necessary and that they heard through the grapevine that only 1 or 2 people had that alleged screenshot. Except that, in and of itself, is also suspicious. If this was such a well-known offense of Sashley's, why would only 1 or 2 people have that screenshot? Wouldn't it have been spread around to prove that Sashley did it? Wouldn't it have...
Maybe it's because it was interpersonal children's drama. I don't know, just pondering my orb.
been put in Discord servers giving other people the opportunity to screenshot or save the image? Why is this evidence that GOAT isn't providing? I should note, GOAT has an entire Google Doc supposedly full of evidence against Sashley, but there's no evidence of this claim. It took a little digging before Melody was able to get their hands on that screenshot, and even they, having been the person who tried to get me involved in this drama, started to question whether it existed in the first place. But they did manage to get it, and for the sake of complete transparency...
Send me her face, Sash. So we have her face, name, and school, please. So this is implying that Sashley has the fucking face, okay? Once again, I don't care. She was like a fucking 13-year-old. I'm just saying this is why we thought that she was doxing
I'll be discussing
her or
it.
something.
This
Blah,
is
blah,
the
blah.
image being touted as evidence of Sashley doxing Susan. If you got...
Also, no, Raven, it's been 6 years, I know, but bitches told me to shut the fuck up every time I tried to speak up about my side, so they can suck my dick. I'm gonna speak on it. Love you, Raven. Sorry.
Guys know anything about
Please
my channel,
don't
you know
goon in my
exactly
chat,
what I'm
though.
gonna say. This isn't evidence. For one thing, we have absolutely no time frame for when this screenshot originally occurred. Clearly the screenshot itself was taken whatever day this exchange took place, but when I asked
my
Melody
God.
about it, their answer as to when it happened started as June 28th, then it was changed to April 18th, and then changed to around March or February. This is a huge time frame for us to have to work with. An additional problem with this, however, is that I've heard nothing about nor seen any screenshots that give us a specific date as to when the doxing allegedly happened. If the dox happened in March or February and Melody's last guesstimate on the date of the screenshot is correct, then it could line up. But if the alleged dox happened in March or February and the screenshot provided was taken in April, for example, then obviously this wouldn't be proof of Sashley's involvement. According to Susan
my
herself, she
God.
says that she was doxed in April, specifically on the 18th, which would align with one of the dates that Melody gave me. Except, Sashley is currently 13. I know her DeviantArt says 14, but apparently that's a meme and she's actually 13. Her birthday is June 3rd, which means
You
she
have the same
turned
birthday,
13
wow.
June 3rd of this year, which means that in April of 20...
I know I've said it already, right? But whatever I was going through, like, not to be like, oh my god, therapy speak, and like psychology talk, but I have bipolar disorder, right? And so all of this was a lot of stress on me at 15. I went through like some sort of psychotic episode or psychosis or some shit like that. I don't know. I was delusional and paranoid. And I thought that because we were born on the same day, June 3rd, me and Sashley, that was God's plan of like punishing me for being like evil or some shit like that. It was really fucking weird.
18.
And I was just like, God hates me. This is evil. We have the same birthday. This is all a plan. I'm just here to suffer. Like, it was so weird.
She was 11. Guys, if I hadn't made it perfectly abundantly clear that little kids are stupid and don't fully comprehend the consequences for their actions and why that is not a reason to attempt to publicly shame or cancel them, this would be it. I understand.
What about you? What about you though?
That doxing can be a serious matter.
What about you with Akumu? What about you with Frick? What about you with me? What about you with Kariz? Or I forgot the name. Kenji. It was Kenji. The Kenji drama. You've gone after, like, at least 4 fucking kids, scrutinizing them. The Frick the Pirate shit got so bad that you actually had to step in to tell people to stop coming to Frick's DeviantArt page and telling him to kill himself. You didn't step in for me. You didn't make any statement like that. In fact, once this video is over, we're going to be looking at this, because I want to see what her opinion on this shit is. Because this is important. This was May 21st, 2023. Alright? We're gonna look at that.
But kids don't know that. Is this all seriously about something that happened before someone was even a
yes, I'm 21
preteen? I get that Sashley is a YouTuber, and at this point, she's going to have to recognize that she can't behave like this. But now we're holding her mistakes from when she was 11 over her head, and even then, alleged mistakes. I've spoken with Sashley herself, who has made note that the screenshot could be real, but that she doesn't have any memory of the interaction. She also specified that she doesn't know how to dox, but again,
I'm gonna go ahead and skip this part because I don't think it's that important.
So I know that, but we don't have one who that can prove who that's someone and that it must be accused of leaking. Even Melody, the person who gathered the screenshot. Another problem with the nature of the screenshot itself. Melody got the screenshot, sent it to her. This whole can't just use as to what you're using. But does this prove that she did it? No, it doesn't. And even then, 11-year-old. Frankly, until there is actual proof that she did it, it's only speculation, and speculation has the potential to be wrong. We could assume that this means that Sashley did it and blame her for it, and if we were right, that means we will be punishing someone who did something wrong when they were 11, and no, I'm not going to stop reiterating that because it's stupid and I want to get that across. But if we were wrong, it would mean we were punishing an innocent party. And there is the possibility that this accusation was wrong because the accusation of Sashley doxing Susan's face appears to have been wrong. When I asked about the doxing of Susan's face, Melody claimed that Sashley
oh wow, so you're talking about me right here. You could have fucking asked me. Also, in GoatCatto's community tab, they're claiming they have proof that Sashley doxed people. Do you have that proof? Ponder! Why are you asking other people about what I have instead of reaching out to me to ask me what I have? What are you fucking talking about? And oh, lovely mention. From the first drama, I assume Ash got her face from Susan's friends or either the UTTP group. Then later, Ash found a face reveal of Susan and converted it into an emote, then to spam. Remember when I said that the UTTP was also involved in this, and this was also how I got wrapped into the UTTP when I was 15 years old? I wasn't lying.
doxed Susan's face by turning a picture of her face into an emoji. When I asked where that picture came from, Melody told me that one of Susan's friends posted the picture online for Sashley to find, which would mean that Sashley didn't dox Susan. The alleged friend did. So I went back to the source on the matter. I asked Sashley where the image came from. According to Sashley, she got the image from a friend who potentially is not on good terms with Susan, and that person supposedly got it directly from Susan herself. I pressured further on the matter, and according to Sashley, the person in question allegedly got the image of Susan's face either from her community tab or Discord server, although it has also been to light that they might have screenshotted it and put it on their own community tab or Discord server, which, if true, would actually mean that Susan either doxed her own face or this other friend doxed her face. Both the scenario presented by Sashley and Sashley got and started from the dox statement. And doxing Susan, that's what information about it's being misconstrued.
She got Toxic Eye to help last year. If
oh god, I forgot about Toxic Eye too. I forgot
more,
about fucking Toxic Eye too. He was also in UTTP.
I mean, that's going to be a tad difficult considering during the course of me writing this script, the people behind the wiki have taken it down, kind of starting to look like you're losing your good graces on that side.
Also, if you can't understand the text-to-speech, I'll post the script in the comments section. If you can't see the screenshots, there's a Google Docs link in the description that contains everything you need to see.
Obviously not, considering I and many others have been going out of our way to find not only the proper but also the full context behind your own lacking recollection of events.
Now, I'd like to talk about some serious shit. As you know, ever since I've posted the Sashley rant/awareness video, there's been a shitload of drama. People
What the fuck is
accused me
happening?
of
Hello?
faking the
Hold on.
screenshot.
Hello? What the fuck is going on? The audio cut out on my end.
Awareness video, there's been a shitload of drama. People accused me of faking the screenshots and complained that the screenshots were fake and hard to read.
I mean, why fake screenshots when taking them out of context and cropping them is so much easier?
Except, I didn't crop them myself. That's how they were handed to me. I didn't crop anything. I just used what I was given, please. Now, obviously, it was bad, right? Guys, out of context, screenshots against a 13-year-old is bad. I've already said this like numerous times over the last 6 years. I don't think I have any reason to repeat myself, right? But fuck.
Just this one. This screenshot was used to prove that
Yes, Gabe and Sashley's ex-friends. Gabe and Sashley's ex-friends gave them to me. Blah, blah, blah.
Sashley wrote all of the fics that she is being accused of, except it only proves that Sashley wrote one of them, and it is the more innocuous of them. The one that this screenshot proves she wrote is not the one that contains implications of pedophilia or incest, and this screenshot was cropped to hide the person who took it. Why?
What? What do you mean?
Why? Because Sashley.
What? To hide the screenshot of Sashley? What are you on about? What? I'm so confused. Whatever. I'm moving on.
Was the one who sent it originally to prove that this was the only fic she had written. You don't need to defend your screenshots being fake. They're clearly not. Well, as far as we know, at least. What you would need to defend is why the screenshots were cropped to hide the fact that they came from Sashley in the first place.
People.
I don't fucking know. I don't know any of this shit, bro. I don't know, Ponder. I really don't know. I don't know.
Begged to see them in high quality. So, to satisfy their demand, and to find more evidence, I opened up a screenshot and drama discussion server. I ended up having to make 2 of them, due to the first one getting deleted.
That's a little odd. Isn't one of the claims against Sashley that her deleting or closing her Discord is super sus, and that it means she's hiding something?
I get that you want to make a fucking hypocrisy point, but, no? I wasn't hiding anything? What are we talking about?
In the first one, when me and others confronted Sashley, Nudeless, and JLEED about the cheating drama, they all seemed to turn on each other. Sashley kept defending herself and JLEED.
Well, of course she's gonna fucking defend herself. She's the one being accused of, like, heinous shit. No shit, GoatCatto. No shit, GoatCatto. Bloat fatto. Feet catto. Fent cracko.
While Nudeless kept accusing and admitting that Sashley and JLEED cheated. Eventually JLEED and Sashley left, while Nudeless stayed and provided us with information about what went down between him and JLEED and Sashley. Then after a bit, the server got deleted.
Yeah, mind bringing up that screenshot again? Jay Elite did most of this. If he hadn't manipulated my girlfriend into saying some regrettable shit, then this whole thing wouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have leaked stuff so impulsively. I shouldn't have tried to make Ash feel guilty because in reality, most of this was Jay Elite's doing.
And after looking at this and, you know, seeing the fact that Sashley's partner, you know, the one that knew Sashley, well, you know, ex-partner, is talking about how this 17-year-old manipulated a fucking 12-year-old. She's just like, well, I still think they're just friends. Like, fuck you.
You mean to tell me that Nudeless, Sashley's boyfriend at the time, the one whom you are publicly shaming her for supposedly cheating on, he even defends her actions and claims that she was being manipulated. Now, personally, I think he might be a tad misinformed, but that's only because I don't.
Now, personally, I think that this person who was there to see his partner get groomed by a 17-year-old when they were 12 is misinformed, because I personally didn't look at the screenshots and decided to fucking sweep it all under the rug and say they're just friends, even though the 17-year-old told the 12-year-old not to tell anybody about him being horny and talking to them that way because they almost leaked it last time. But no, they're just friends. No hate to Sashley. I am fully, like, against fucking Jay Leet and Ponder here. I have no hate to Sashley. We've made up. We're on good terms. We're still chill. None of the stuff in the original video, none of the stuff in this video, etc., should be held against her to this day. She was a literal fucking child. None of it mattered. None of it should have been out there.
See any actual cheating in the screenshots provided between Sashley and Jay Leet. It's just not there.
What about Gabe? Yeah. Huh. No thought about that. No thought about Gabe manipulating me into making the rant, telling me that, you know, sometimes you have to manipulate people for the better good. Like, fuck off.
Even when there's a hint of things turning sexual, Jay Leet stops it, as an adult is supposed to do. But you mean to tell me that Sashley's boyfriend himself doesn't even hold her entirely accountable, and you still ran with this narrative and the public shaming to follow? Within those screenshots, he even says, I'm over it, I don't care. Like, what?
I eventually made another server and, oh god, so much shit went down in it, and every day I kept finding more and more information about Sashley and her actions. Her fans and her close friends eventually found out about the rant and some past bins that her fans and her...
Guys, look, it's Gabe. The Zeke I love you so much person is Gabe. Ha 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 ha.
Her close friends eventually found out about the rant and some past bins that me and a couple of people leaked, and they told people in Sashley's server about it. Then, a few days later, Sashley disappeared. Apparently she's taking a break because of what we started. And for some reason, after people started talking about it in her server, Mortal and some of Sashley's friends decided to shut the server down, which seems somewhat suspicious. Normally people only do that if they have something to hide.
Once again, another Gabe talking point. I specifically remember him sending me that screenshot and being like, they're hiding something, Goat. They're hiding. They're trying to shut people up about the truth about Sashley. This can't continue. Like, bro, Gabe, you're so fucking gay. I know you apologize, but, like, what were you thinking, bro? I know you were, like, 17, but holy shit.
I mean, you heard it here, folks. That server I made to collect evidence was deleted. If you close down or delete your server, that's suspicious. It probably means you're hiding something. Maybe I jumped the gun a tad on that, but it's just a little silly either way.
People kept accusing me and the people helping me, saying that we were ruining Sashley's life and doing this for fame and attention, which is completely false. I am only doing this to spread awareness.
Well, I got fame and I got attention. I didn't want it, but it wasn't the type I would have wanted if I ever wanted that to begin with. 1.2 million people. GoatCatto evil. GoatCatto evil. GoatCatto evil. Like, fuck. The amount of horrible fucking attention I got from this video was... Ugh. And I can't imagine what it was like for Sashley whenever my first video came out, too. But Jesus fucking Christ. You want fame? Well, now you're infamous, and we're gonna tell you to kill yourself for years on end. Like, fuck.
Of the situation. Now, as some of you probably know, Sashley cheated on Noodles with JLEET, which he confirmed. She made Shepard.
I'm sorry. JLEET. JLEET!
Probably know Sashley
I love that pedophile!
JLEET.
Why is it? Why does she even get upset? You both have to fix this together. So something's going on with her and Jaylee. I need you to do something. I don't want this to end bad. You can't let anyone know I vented about Ash to you. She doesn't like me venting about her to other people. Wait! Wait! I think that might be Gabe. Moved is definitely Noodles. That's Gabe! That's crazy. Okay, this backs up what Gabe said about, like, Noodles and shit. Bro.
Which he confirmed. She made Shepard of her and JLEET, said questionable stuff to JLEET, and favored all of JLEET's artwork on DeviantArt, which makes it seem really suspicious.
That was a picture of their characters hugging. That does not inherently mean it's ship art. By that logic, any instance where I've drawn a picture...
With the context of these two talking sexually, once again, want to remind the chat, Ponder glosses over and excuses and misrepresents a 17-year-old being sexual and telling a 12-year-old not to leak their horny DMs to people. She thinks that's fine. With the context of that and the romantic intention between them, then obviously I'm going to see ship art. Not trying to defend myself, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta be fair here, right? Since she didn't look at the evidence and I fucking did. Obviously, with all of that, I would think that there's something going on between them that's romantic.
Of my character hugging the character of one of my friends, that's ship art. Lock me up, I guess, then. A hug?
Also, fun fact, this is Chuli. I only found this out, like, a few days ago because Chuli was like, oh my god, that's me and Ponder in this fucking piece of fan art that she flashed up here. Interesting.
For a friend, wholly inappropriate. As I've already discussed, the screenshots provided of Sashley's conversations with Jay Lead are not sexual, despite what you try to claim, and I'm gonna be perfectly real with you, Jay Lead has some nice artwork. I can't blame Sashley for favoriting it. Not only is she supporting a friend, it's cute art.
And when Noodles left her because she cheated, she tried to make herself look in
17-year-old talking about how their penis is above average in a space with a 12-year-old. Lovely. We love to see it.
And she threatened suicide.
Okay, this part is gay. I don't...
The whole
this
situation,
is...
saying she was going to stab and overdose on pills.
So it's okay for Noodles to harm himself in response to perceived cheating on Sashley's end, and...
No, none of this is okay. Okay? It shouldn't have been fucking exposed. This is a hypocrisy thing on my end as well. I obviously did not understand what the fuck I was talking about, and I know that, you know, I've made amends and shit like that. We've all forgiven each other, but I still do beat myself up at the end of the day over everything that I brought to light. Because even in 2022, people tried to bring shit from 2019 and make it relevant again. And so I had to step in and be like, hey guys, this is fucking retarded. Please stop doing this. Like, ugh.
That makes it Sashley's fault, but if Noodles breaks up with Sashley as a result of perceived cheating and Sashley doesn't think she was cheating, then her mental anguish and her considerations of self-harm, that's her threatening suicide. Yeah, if I hadn't already gotten across how biased this video is, one person can do it, but Sashley can't. Spoilers, guys, that's not the only instance where
And now I understand why the narrative was biased, because according to Gabe, Noodles was running things behind the scenes or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know, dude.
Purposely doesn't give Sashley a pass on something it's okay for others to do. In particular, something it's okay for Goat to...
Goat, you gotta stop caring. I promise you none of this matters to anyone not online. People like to act like I don't care about the mistakes I've made, but every single one I've done, even with the brain dead Robin shit, I still feel a lot of guilt over that. I know that I'm pretty sure I fucking tried to apologize to Graffiti Olopia about what happened, right? But the Sashley drama stuff, the Shister stuff, even though technically all I did was platform the fucking document, the Frick the Pirate stuff, everything that happened in there, every mistake I think about on the daily, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're just exaggerating, you don't really mean that, but I've talked about that a lot to my partner and how, like, the guilt eats at me and how I don't know what to do about it, despite, you know, there's nothing that I can do, despite moving on, you know, even though I've been open about everything. It's just,
do.
However, cheating is the least horrible thing that's happened between them. Sashley and Noodles were involved in overly sexual shit.
I'm skipping this.
Because of all the horror sexual.
Wrong and unacceptable.
Okay.
Says who? You? Why is it not okay for teenagers to be sexual, especially considering teenagers? But
I think it's because I'm used to having to explain myself over and over and over. Because like I said, you know, I came from a bad household. It's a bad habit. Whether it was my mother or somebody on the internet or a coworker or a schoolmate, anybody who would say stuff about me or about a situation or something I did wrong, I would just like apologize over and over and over and over and drag it on even when I didn't need to. It was just like, ah.
Their very nature are generally quite sexual because of all the hormones running through them during puberty. Even with regards to your claim that she shouldn't be involved in a kink, who are you to make that claim? You're not her parent. You don't get to dictate what she is turned on by. You don't
Ponder. Once again, I'm going to reiterate that her response to this entire section, rather than saying, you know, you're not her parent, you don't dictate what this 13-year-old gets turned on by, and further boosting their sexting screenshots, which is why I skipped over it, mind you. I also had to tell somebody in another stream who's going over this to skip past the screenshots of the minors sexting each other, because that's incredibly inappropriate to be even, like, looking at as an adult, I feel. Unless it's for, like, a predation case or something like that, right? I don't know why she put this in here. She could have just been like, this is inappropriate. What she does in private doesn't need to be displayed publicly, so I'm not gonna involve myself with it. But no, we're gonna talk about DDLG, explain what that is, gloss over a 12-year-old being groomed by a 17-year-old, and we're gonna talk about a child being engaged in kinks and shit.
To dictate how she and her boyfriend choose to express themselves sexually. If it's because the kink is inappropriate, I've already discussed that your perception of it is completely wrong, and you made the asinine suggestion that she not involve herself with the kink until she grew up, which, if there were actually legal problems...
Am I seriously, like, genuinely insane, though, for saying that a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old shouldn't be involved in DDLG kinks until they're at least 18, because that kink is supposed to be, you know, an adult-only thing, and also because, you know, I don't know, I feel as if, oh my god. Also, no. Spark Rizzle. We're talking about Jay Leet. Noodles was 14.
With the nature of the kink itself would just get her into actual legal problems. If your video is goal-centered on helping Sashley, then why are you giving her advice that, based on your personal misunderstanding, would get her arrested? Now, Goat is wrong.
What do you mean it would get her arrested if she waited until she was 18 years old to engage in DDLG? What? Sorry, I'm a little confused here.
And there's nothing...
Maybe it's because in my mind I thought that it was inherently pedophilic in nature, but at the same time my other argument was that they should still wait until they're 18 years or older to engage in these types of stuff. Fuck.
Legal about the kink itself, but come on.
Like, I get it, but
Furthermore, again, why are you only blaming Sashley for this? If you actually believe that the DDLG kink is pedophilic in nature and Sashley is the one playing the role of the little, wouldn't that mean that Nudeless was the offender in this situation? But apparently not, because the video is about Sashley and Nudeless can do no wrong, so Sashley is in the wrong on everything, even in situations where, if you were right, legally she would be considered the victim.
If you don't know what DDLG is, DDLG stands for Daddy Dumb / Little Girl. The daddy / caregiver is the more dominant half of the relationship, the little is the more submissive. DDLG is a lifestyle man.
See what I mean? It's literally just a rehashed version of the first video.
And for adults, not children, they said inappropriate.
I was like, yeah, children should not be engaging in these types of kinks. However, they should not be shamed for engaging in these types of kinks. If anything, there should be concern about why and what they've been exposed to that led them up to using this as a coping mechanism. And then seeing that this 17-year-old and this fucking 12-year-old were talking sexually with each other, that's even more concerning in my mind, especially since Gabe, obviously there's no fucking, screenshots to back it up, but Gabe claimed that they were involved in a DDLG thing, which was also why I was saying that maybe she should wait until she's 18 years old, because older parties could prey upon her with the DDLG shit, but I don't know.
Things in friend group chats, and even discussed what they were going to do once they met up in real life, which they did. And
No. We're not. Oh my god. And once again, she just blasts 13-year-old sex DMs on a 1.2 million viewed video. You could have just cut that out, not put it in, and be like, hey, I'm not talking about this. This isn't appropriate. These are minor sexting. This doesn't need to be in the public.
Neither Sashley nor Nudeless are in the wrong here. If they want to indulge in a kink that they both share a common interest in, that's completely up to them, and it should be nobody else's business but their own.
Sashley even took it so far that she wrote 3 rape.
No question. The one being addressed here is gross, to be sure, but I think it's gross because of the context surrounding the situation. For one thing, as I've already made note of, the screenshot Goat provided is cropped to hide the person who originally took it, which would have been Sashley. On top of that, there's the dates. The first fic, the one that the screenshots directly confirm that Sashley wrote, first legal offense that Sashley is
during and after they were made, she drew herself as a child and Nudeless as an adult.
Okay. So what I'm going to say here, right, this is not a defense on my part. I'm not trying to defend anything, but I'm speaking from my logical perspective of how I did back then. The reason why I saw an issue with the Noodles and Sashley art was because it looked like a kid. It was like 3 foot, and it had child-coded clothing, had a binky in its mouth in one of the porn pieces, and was holding a fucking teddy bear. So obviously, to me, a 15-year-old me, who thinks that, oh, this is child-coded, this is bad, or whatever the fuck I said, right? That's why I thought that, oh, it's CP, or whatever the fuck, right? And then there's actually a screenshot in here, where Gabe is explaining to me that regardless of the thing being ageless or whatever the fuck, right, that it's not an excuse and that it's still a child. Which is, once again, why I'm saying most of the narrative and the talking points come from Gabe and what he told me.
Implying their DDLG relationship. She even drew porn of it, which, mind you, is child porn.
No, it's not. I've already gone over that. But if you want to make the claim that it is,
you can see why I thought it was a kid. Also, hold on. My cat's being evil and biting something she should not be. Don't do that. You know better. Pippi, you fat. You a fat-ass cat. Go to the other room.
I can play ball. Something I want to bring up that nobody else has brought up, and I think this is the only actual legal offense that Sashley is guilty of. I've spoken in the past about how it's illegal to send pornography to minors, and this generally includes in situations where minors are the ones sending pornography to one another. Erotic fiction is still classified as pornography from what I can find. However, in terms of the legality of the situation, Sashley's birthday is June 3rd. That means at the time of writing and sending the fic, Sashley would have been 12 years old. The law is generally more lenient in this situation the younger the parties involved are. After all, if a child cannot consent to sex as a result of their lack of development, that same lack of development can be used to explain and excuse a child sending erotic fiction to another child. If Sashley were to be guilty of anything, it would be this, and legally, she would likely only get a slap on the wrist because despite what Goat apparently doesn't believe, age does play a factor. That's why we separate the trials of children from the trials of adults. Except, Goat is also guilty of that. Yeah, the censored screenshot.
And here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That Goat provides.
Also, yeah, no, I find it weird how nobody stepped in and was like, hey, this is actually pretty concerning. I don't think she stepped in and was like, hey, Sashley, hey, Goat, you probably shouldn't be engaging in these types of conversations or writing these sorts of things or engaging in, like, any of this weird, like, kink shit. It's dangerous, you know? The sharing porn, like, oh my god, nobody stepped in. And this was also a huge problem in the community back then. Me and Sashley both made porn and sent it to people because we thought it was normal. I came from a website called Toonator where, I think I was, like, 11 years old when I first joined. 11 or 12, right? And there were a bunch of adults on there who would encourage all of us to draw porn. I think it was called Sin Sundays or something like that. Sinful Sundays, Sinful Friday. It was basically a whole thing where everybody on the site, regardless of age, would all draw porn and post it publicly. And adults would comment on it, favorite it, and I even had some people, whenever I engaged in that, telling me to draw fucking horse cock. So that should speak of the type of environment that a lot of people from my space were raised in. And fun fact, Kitty Dog actually came from the same website that I did before I joined YouTube and shit like that. Sinful Sunday. Caden, do you remember? Do you remember? Were you? Oh, shit. Oops. Okay, my cat just did a bad. Hold on. Caden, you were there? Were you there? Yeah, my cat, she knocked over one of my bags on my desk. Anyways, me and a lot of people in this community were exposed to not safe for work content when we were younger by adults, and we had it normalized that joking about it, talking about it, writing porn, drawing porn, etc. was all fine and dandy. You can share it with anybody you want, doesn't matter if it's an adult or a kid, blah, blah, blah. And that was something that stayed normalized, honestly, up until about, I would say, 2022, 23, honestly. That's when more people started talking about it. I don't know, at least on my end, it definitely was. That's what I noticed in the community. I don't know. It took a long ass time for people to actually call it out because of how fucking normalized it was.
In this video, that's not censored in the Google Doc. How old do you think most of the people watching this video would be?
I don't know. How old do you think the people watching your video are?
There was at least one 12-year-old. It's funny that when I bring up the only things Sashley could actually be considered guilty of, Goat is guilty of the very same thing.
As well as basically any other minor online who has been sending porn to one another, and I'm aware there are a lot of them. Actually, to tie back into one of the complaints against Sashley that I went over towards the beginning, that being that she got into an 18+ server and that potentially puts everyone in there in trouble if they send her stuff, if that were true, then that would apply to Goat too, since Goat has two.
Keep in mind, this is a 27-year-old woman blasting the fact that I, as a 15-year-old, have a not safe for work category in my Discord server, which anybody can join, by the way. Hey guys, look, this 15-year-old has a not safe for work fan art for me channel, a not safe for work art channel, a not safe for work bot, a gore channel, not safe for work chat, my not safe for work art, etc. At 15 years old. Am I gonna step in and tell them privately, hey, you're putting yourself and other people in danger by doing this, you shouldn't do this? No. Am I going to question them about them not understanding a kink, though? Yeah. 1.2 million people get to see this, by the way, along with Sashley's porn and texts and stuff like that. I don't know what sensitive images was. I don't fucking know. I do not remember.
18+ channels in their server, one for their own art and one for art that people send them. Like, oh god, it's just a mess.
Oh, and I'm not talking about the art, I'm talking about the situation. Please stop sending porn to each other, guys. That being said, Goat is talking
You could have told us this one-on-one. It would have prevented a lot of things.
primarily about the artwork, right?
Sashley claims that her Sona is ageless, but guess what? Saying your Sona is ageless.
Look. So this one right here. That is Zeke. Ageless characters aren't ageless. That's just an excuse to draw child porn. This is Gabe. That is so disgusting. You know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna put the video up again. This is what I was talking about whenever they were talking me back into putting the video up and shit. I don't have all the screenshots, unfortunately, but yeah. Gabe says, just because they're ageless doesn't ignore the fact that it's her Sona goat. If it's a Sona, she's basically sexualizing herself. Yeah.
Just doesn't matter, you know why? Because it represents her, and she's a minor. Also, look at the height difference. Noodles and Sashley's characters are both wolves, so it's extremely odd that they would have such a height difference if they were the same age or ageless. This is just plain wrong.
So, you recognize that Sashley herself has stipulated that the character has no age. In my books, that makes me think it's an excuse for her to do a lot of different things with a character that is meant to represent herself, but if you want to make the claim that because it represents herself, it therein represents her actual age, I suppose that's fair. Oh, except, one might be able to make that statement about your character too. Goat came out and claimed that the character being used in their video was not a fursona but an OC, and that this OC was 20 years of age, thus justifying Goat drawing porn of them, which she did.
Yeah. I've heard that someone's been spreading screenshots and has been spreading around my not safe for work art. The not safe for work art was of Rose, my AOC, not my fursona, who's like 20 years old. Wow.
Was not a fursona but an OC, and that this OC was 20 years of age, thus justifying Goat drawing porn of them, which she...
1.2 million people got to see this. Guys, look at this 15-year-old's furry porn. I'm gonna blast it on the internet to prove a fucking hypocrisy point. I'm 27 years old, by the way. 27 years old.
Did. Oh, but wait a minute. According to this character sheet for Rose that you posted on...
I know I don't draw this shit anymore.
15 to 22.
I don't draw it anymore, I swear to God.
Situation as to how old she is. Really? It depends, huh? Does it perhaps depend on whether or not you want to do something lewd with the character? So you leave yourself with some wiggle room as to how old you make her? Gee, that's kind of smart. Almost along the lines of, oh, I don't know, making her ageless so that you can do whatever you want with the character given the situation without having to change their design. If Sashley isn't allowed to change her character's age to suit the situation, why is it you're allowed to? Why? Because Sashley uses a fursona and you drew a character? By that logic, if she has to stay within the stipulation because she uses it as a fursona, then wouldn't she not be allowed to use it as a fursona in the first place? Sashley's not allowed to change the age because it's a character that represents her. So does that mean that she can't change the design? It has to look exactly like her? Does that mean she can't change the backstory? Oh, that's right. Wait a fucking minute. I forgot that I checked into a video made by Scootaloo Loves Sans, and that video talked about Sashley's character, as in the character of Ashley. Sashley herself even recognizes Ash as a character and indicated on her reference sheet where she refers to the character as a she. So is the issue that Sashley uses the character as well as a fursona? Well, it could be argued that Goat is also using her character as a sona in these videos. I can certainly find an image that implies she's done it in the past. Here she indicates that she loves whoever this is, but she...
That was a Sans fangirl. I think I remember this person. They were like a fox. What was it? Inferno the Fox? Hold on. Inferno the Fox Sans fangirl. Fuck you! Anyways, whatever.
She draws the GoatCatto character in as her visual representation of herself. Even if you claim that as a whole, the character does not represent you, you did use the character to represent you in this video. Much like how Sashley sometimes uses her character to represent herself in her videos. So if Sashley isn't allowed to draw not safe for work of an ageless character that she uses to represent herself, why can you do it with an age-ranging character that you have also used to represent yourself? If this isn't a proper...
Once again, not in defense of anything, but the reason why I was like, well, it looks like a child. So like, age range isn't an excuse, like, I was gay, but nah.
Persona, and it's just a character that for videos and art you've used to represent yourself and ideals, and that's the difference. Then what would happen if Sashley had a persona? Would that then separate the Ashley character further from Sashley as an individual and make it more of a character? Yep, there it is. There's also the fact that personas can develop into characters, as Sashley even turned her non-furry Sona into a character, or at least treats it like one. Why can't she do the same thing with her Ashley character? Wouldn't that be the point of the ageless thing, so that the character can be used to represent her but also be used as a character? Does intent matter? Well, I'm using the character as a character, not as a Sona, so it doesn't represent my age. How do you argue you intend? And therein, how do we know what your intent was when you did draw your character in not safe for work situations? You state that the character can range from 15 to 22 years of age, likely so that you don't need to change their design, but how do we know that you didn't draw your character in lewd situations intending for them to be of the younger end of that spectrum? Isn't that what you're implying about Sashley, that the character was intended to be a child because Sashley is a child? Wouldn't that mean that we could look at either of these and by your logic consider them both to be child pornography? Legally it's not, provided neither of you intended for the character to look or be a child. Legally neither of you have done anything wrong by drawing these images alone. You did do something wrong by sending them, and I'm basically going a very roundabout way of creating all these possibilities to showcase that. But you're not operating in terms of legality, are you? You're operating in terms of moral shaming, because your morals are different to Sashley's, primarily because you don't understand, and I suppose have never bothered to research the nature of kinks or what a paraphilia is. I mean, for the latter one, at least I can't blame you. I imagine
Why would you expect a 15-year-old to research what a fucking kink is? If anything, you should say, you're too young to understand this. Don't look it up, just stay out of it. Look into it when you're fucking 18, bruh.
you didn't know what that word even was before this video. That's why this is harassment. At this point, you're attempting to take Sashley down by any means necessary, even if the evidence goes against you, and even if—
Oh, so this video is also aimed at me. Well, obviously, no shit. It's about me, but like, dude. You also could— whatever, I'm just gonna let it roll.
Sashley does the same things that you do. I like to remain of the mindset that you're just a kid and you don't actually know what you're doing, but as it becomes more and more apparent that you have been hiding certain things in order to craft this narrative you're trying to push, particularly hiding your hypocrisy, it becomes more difficult for me to believe that this video was made for any reason other than spite. Granted—
And this is where it comes in with the false narrative painting and the flippy-floppy bullshit. She doesn't acknowledge the fact that, you know, she knew that multiple people worked on this fucking script. She flip-flops from, oh, you're just a child who doesn't know better. Oh, I don't want to be angry at you because you're like 15, but like, oh my god. And well, I know you're just a child, but honestly, it feels like this was made out of spite and shit like that. And you're hiding your hypocrisy. I didn't hide shit, bro. You're the one who went looking for my fucking porn. I don't know who gave that to you. And what do you mean I was trying to hide my hypocrisy? If it's on my fucking DeviantArt, how am I hiding it? If people gave it to you, how am I hiding it? I didn't even know you had this shit. What? I'm so confused. I never hid anything.
it might not be specifically goat spite that I'm picking up on. It might be spite
Oh, so now you're gonna fucking say it. Whatever, dude.
from somebody else who helped her make this video because there were other people behind this. I recognize that you're a kid, but I'm telling you right—
So you just mention it once, and then you just move on. There were other people behind this. You probably should have stated that at the beginning. I don't know. That's just me.
Now, these videos were inappropriate, this drama was inappropriate, your behavior has been entirely inappropriate, and all of this needs to stop. The people involved in this situation are children, yet it is being treated like not safe for work celebrity gossip. I am wholly unimpressed. Oh yeah, I'd also like to point out that the pornography that Sashley drew that Goat is trying to pass off as being a child, yeah, that character has fully developed breasts, which, if Goat is trying to make the claim that Sashley draws her character as a 6-year-old, which she then uses in pornography, all I'm saying is I don't see a lot of people that young with decap titties.
Yeah. Listen, this whole thing is dumb, right? But, like, the shit she says, I can acknowledge the fact that my video did not need to exist. I already have said this, but, like, what the fuck are these talking points, bro?
Something else I would like to point out with regards to Sashley's ship art between her character and Noodless's character, not only does Sashley herself specify in the description for one of the images being shown that the character is not a baby, just that they are small, exaggerating the heights of characters to display a particular type of dynamic is actually quite common. On top of that, specifically exaggerating the height between couple characters can be quite common. Actually, if I could cut in for a moment, Art is talking here. I actually do this too. Art is all about interpreting reality in a variety of different ways depending on various points of perspective. To bring up my own work as an example, my persona character is drawn quite small in comparison to the persona I designed for my boyfriend. The height and size difference is exaggerated from reality because it's a piece drawn from my perspective. My perspective views my boyfriend as being a strong, larger protective force. When he wraps his arms around me, he feels significantly bigger than me, and I in turn feel—
Here's the thing I don't understand, right? She says that Ponder is a character, but then, like, I don't know, they seem the same to me. They seem the same to me, okay? I'm not gonna, like, oh my god. I'm not gonna pile onto the, oh my god, she's using a different race avatar or whatever. That's not what I'm worried about. I just kind of find it funny because it's just like, you guys act the exact same though. How are you different?
Very small in comparison to him, and so that perception is exaggerated in my artwork of the two of us. I'm still drawing two 27.
Well, actually, that's not fair of me to say because I do realize that behind the scenes people are different. I mean, shit, I'm different behind the scenes. I'm not able to really talk that much in fucking group calls because I get an anxiety, but like, fuck.
Year-olds being snuggly, but the height difference and the design of the characters is exaggerated to better exemplify the perspective of myself, the artist, going into it. Many artists actually do this. It's actually very likely that Sashley's artwork is the same. She might be exaggerating the height difference because from her perspective, she's smaller and more in need of protection from her larger protector of a significant other.
And she knows it, yet her and her friends keep excusing her behavior because she's young and neglected at home. I doubt that shit.
Okay. I know I've said this. I know I said that like the talking points are from Gabe, but I did not write this. I did not write this. These are not my words. Yes, it came from my Sam, Microsoft Sam, text-to-speech mouth. I do not stand by this more than I don't stand by anything else in this fucking video because what you're about to hear is genuinely like horrible. Okay? This is blaming. I don't understand it.
Is actually neglected. In fact, her parents seem to worry about her a lot. They provide her with medication, and whenever she's in a risky situation, they try and keep her safe.
Those screenshots don't show that. You do not get to comment on somebody else's life or the nature of their neglect if you don't know anything about it. You've already proven that you don't know enough things that you're talking about. Don't delve into neglect under the assumption that neglect only manifests in one way.
Later on, when she was confronted about the fanfiction, she lied and blamed Dadai Flufutaka Kenivius. She lied and said that
what are
she
these
didn't
fucking
write
names?
the fanfictions, even though she did.
Noodles himself even said that she didn't write the nasty one that she's being accused of.
Kenivius went under fire for this on Discord and was blamed by Ash and her friends, who knew she was lying.
Curious that Kenivius is one of the people being brought up, considering he was one of the people who helped Goat write this rant.
Kenivius had been left with no choice but to assist with developing proof because he didn't want Sashley to victimize herself for her own selfish and misconstrued choices.
Why get Sashley to do it?
Also, once again, here's the thing I don't get, right? It's just like, if you're gonna take all of your time to invest into digging who did what and who's who and who's involved with what and who doxed who and who said what and who spread the rumor of who, why did you not do that for me? Like, I hate to bitch about it over and over and over again, right? But it's just like, come on, man, you could have asked. But no.
When you can craft a narrative where legally she would be the victim all on your own, and then still blame her for being that victim.
All on my own?
I feel safer around Sashley because Sashley...
All on my own?
Fuck you mean all on my own? What?
had his information and has been known for doxing people she didn't want to be caught.
Except that she didn't. Show proof that she did.
She wanted to look innocent. Some of her friends even made excuses and said that the fanfictions were fine because, oh, they are not real characters. That's
I'm gonna kill myself. This is so gay.
Being raped. That it's fine because the child doesn't exist, which is wrong.
This is so gay.
The problem is that what you are claiming still doesn't line up with the evidence you have showcased of what Sashley has been doing. Now, if someone drew a character who looked like a minor, they specifically went out of their way to make the character look like a minor and expressly stated that this character was intended to be underage, then that would be a problem, and you are very much running the risk of the artwork being considered child pornography. This is why most not safe for work artists will specify that any character they draw, regardless of the age of the character in the canon fiction they come from, are intended to be 18 years of age or older.
Some people claim that she doesn't know any better, and that she's 13, so she doesn't deserve any negative.
Oh my god, this is gay. Oh my god. You see, back then, I had a very, warped mindset. Obviously, I was fucking 15, but I was just like, being a minor doesn't excuse anything you do. And then I look back at everything I did as a minor, and I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot. Why did you do that? And then I'm like, oh, wait. I was a fucking minor. No shit, I was dumb. No shit, everybody who was a kid does stupid shit.
Feedback. That, my friends, is a false and stupid statement. She knows what she's doing.
Uh-huh. Take that sentence and apply it to Goat. Goat is allegedly 1 or 2 years older than Sashley. By Goat's own logic, they
allegedly. Girl, we have the same fucking birthday. I'm 2 years older than her.
Should know what they're doing. If anything, this video should prove that you don't know what you're doing, and therein Sashley, being younger than you, obviously wouldn't entirely know what she was doing.
So why don't we keep that narrative throughout the whole fucking video rather than be like, yeah, this is out of spite, this is out of spite, this 15-year-old's like fucking evil and shit. Like, but everybody involved is a child. Nobody knew what the fuck they were talking about. Oh my god, whatever, I've harped on that enough.
How Sashley treats her fans and friends, and what she thinks
of
this
them. Part's so
in this
gay.
Screenshot, you can see her and her friends talking about how they hate her fans. Sashley uses her fans for money, and as she says, if she could
God
do
forbid
other
somebody
things
get money.
beside this for money, then she would. She even refers to them as the Army of Six.
I think I was spiteful with this because I was a Sashley fan, right? I loved Sashley's videos. We never had beef until this fucking video came out. Like, I had nothing against her. It was just kind of like dumped on me. I was like, oh my god, this is like really bad. I can't believe Sashley would do this. Me. Like, it was so gay. But it's just like, who fucking cares? I call my fans annoying because some of them are. It's nothing fucking deep.
Dear olds, this is honestly upsetting because so many people look up to her. They see her as their idol, and the fact that she thinks this about them is just wrong. It's like she doesn't appreciate them at all.
I've been talking with Sashley, and she's explained that she's sorry and that this is just a joke, but I'm not going to talk about that. No, instead, I'm siding with Sashley's original statement. I can't blame Sashley for disliking her fanbase, or if she has disparaging thoughts about them, not if they do shit like this to her. Sashley has been at the center of drama after drama after drama, all of which was stupid, most of which there isn't any evidence of her actually doing something wrong, and that fanbase turned on her at the drop of a hat when poorly presented, cropped, and out-of-context screenshots are shown by anyone, it seems. I guess it doesn't matter who provides it. If somebody has a cropped
Yeah, because
screenshot
they're
and
like
says Sashley did
6.
something wrong,
It makes
that means
sense.
Sashley did something wrong, right? Why would Sashley not feel completely betrayed by that? These people look up to her and idolize her, but they're willing to try and cancel her and turn against her at any moment? For real? And she's supposed to just keep smiling and tell it.
This is also why I feel like children should not have a fucking platform. There's so many expectations, like, placed onto children who have, like, YouTube careers or whatever you want to call them, right? They're just like, well, if you say this one thing, your fans will eat you up. If you don't say this one thing, your fans will eat you up. If you say you like your fans, some of them will eat you up anyways. If you say you hate your fans, they'll eat you up anyways. Fans are fucking malicious. They think they have an attachment to you that makes them special just because they like your fucking videos. When in reality, you don't know them, they don't actually know you. They have no right to, like, speak on anything that they're accusing you of. I had no right to speak on anything that I was accusing Sashley of. This is obvious. Fans are fucking insane. Fans are fucking insane. Children should not have fans. I'm just saying that.
Everyone that they're great and that she respects them even in the face of people effectively spitting on her? No, straight up no. Fuck that. It's ridiculous and stupid to expect that of her, especially given her age. And what's wrong with Sashley acknowledging that she does what she does for money? Most people who work and who have a job do it because they're being paid and not inherently because they like the job. It's not a sin nor a crime to do that. I bet you anything your favorite movie star became a movie star because they wanted to be famous. If Sashley has other things that she wants to do but acknowledges that this is her income, this is how she makes money, then obviously she's going to feel forced to continue to make that money even at the expense of her own ambitions. You mentioned neglect before, but that could be a sign of neglect. For all anyone knows, Sashley is being compelled to continue making videos because of her parents, or she feels the need to make them to save money so that she can move out. Want to know a secret? If somebody came to me today and offered me a job that just let me draw comic books and make a living wage off of it, I'd drop what I'm doing in a heartbeat. Equally, if someone gave me a scholarship for a forensic program, I'd be gone faster than a heartbeat. It's not a crime for Sashley to acknowledge that she wants to do other things, but that she's limited into continuing what she does here on YouTube because that's her income. What would happen if she stopped and tried to do something else just out of the blue? That income would stop, and depending on her home situation, that could be really bad for her. You don't know.
If my role model said this stuff about me, I would be
gay. If my role model said something about me, I would be really mad and really heartbroken. Ugh.
crushed.
That's at least understandable. Problem with that. I'm sorry, kid, but that's just how the world works sometimes. Not all of those you idolize are going to stand up to everyone's individual perception of them and what makes them a good person. There's always going to be someone disappointed. Just as Sashley might have some fans who felt betrayed, she will also have fans who completely understand. It's not fair for you to demonize her for this as though it were a factual wrong on her part when it's entirely based on your own morals and effectively whether or not you feel special to her.
You can't just use people like that. It's mean and wrong.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And the money, it smells good. It pays my bills. And I like the money. Anybody with, like, you know, shit to pay or shit that they want to buy, they're going to like the money. The money is good. The money is nice. There's no issue with making money off of the shit you do. This was very gay. If 15-year-old me would have, like, looked at where I am now, or at least where I was when I was streaming a whole lot more often, making at least like $180 to $200 like a month extra on top of my paycheck. Fuck yeah, I would have monetized my shit a long time ago. Same with commissions. Like, damn.
Also make money from that content is not using people.
She also treats some of her friends like shit. She's made
fun
of them and their relationship.
Not gonna show screenshots because I was requested not to. Yeah, by Kenny. It was fucking Kennevious. The ex-friends that I mentioned. Oh my god, what is up with my cats, like, jumping on my table and rubbing up against my camera? I need you to go. Pewter, you're fat. I need you to go. Thank you, sweetie. Oh my lord. He was doing commissions for free. Yeah, no, I was. Though, to be fair, I don't really know who would want to commission this shit, Nick Andros. Like, look at this tumor.
I'm not going to show screenshots because I was requested not to. Then I'm not listening to any points you want to bring up. That's not how this works. I'm also skipping the last bit because the next point is just Goat repeating almost word for word the same accusation regarding Sashley's events from the last video, and then claiming that the molten lava screenshots are fake, and I've already gone over that forensically can't prove that.
One other thing that I want to touch on before we wrap things up is not something that Goat has brought up themselves, but it's a complaint against Sashley that I've noticed from other evidence-gathering videos on the matter, and this has to do with the use of the N-word. A screenshot surfaced.
Oh no! Nick Andros, what do you think about this? What do you think about what's on screen right now? You know what's crazy? You know what's fucking crazy? Some people still use this against her to this day. They're like, oh my god! This fucking teenager said the N-word! Oh my god! Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Like, I'm sorry, right? You're allowed to be offended. I'm not saying you can't be offended. I'm just saying, it's a fucking teenager. The amount of people I saw in real life saying the fucking N-word constantly, the amount of coworkers, adult and young, who say the N-word constantly, the fact that she was around the same groups I was regarding UTTP, no shit she was saying the fucking N-word, so was I, because we were around the same fucking groups, bruh. You know what's crazy? We also both gained, like, 2 horrible relationships from the same fucking group, and both of them went on for, like, almost the same amount of time, I think, which is kind of weird. Maybe God does hate me. This is crazy. It's like a parallel.
In some sort of chat. We don't know the context. We can see the date that it happened in February of this year, but none of that really matters. I think generally all of us can agree that the use of this word is rather inappropriate. However, I would still like to put forth the notion that Sashley, being a child, likely doesn't fully understand the implications of that word or what it means for her to be using it, especially not if she's perhaps using it in a closed group with friends.
Yeah, if you're around groups that are encouraging that stuff and they treat it as funny, then naturally you're not going to think, haha, this word is bad, this word is bad. Most kids, when they say the N-word, they're just saying it because it sounds funny and they want to be fucking edgy. They'll eventually grow up. It's good to step in and be like, hey, you probably shouldn't be saying that, right? You'll grow up and realize that this is a little fucked up, right? But at the end of the day, they're probably going to keep saying it, so it's just like, instead of canceling them, maybe just give them advice and move on and hope they, like, grow or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cancel a little kid for saying the fucking N-word.
While Goat did not bring up this point in their video, so I won't make a statement about hypocrisy, I can point out that Goat themselves aligns themselves with people who actually use that word, whom I am also assuming are around the 12 to 17 age bracket. Check.
Yep. What is this? Oh, what the fuck? Oh, ignore this. This was about somebody. This is so cringe. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna embrace it. You guys are getting a little 2019 bipolar GoatCatto monologue. This was not about anybody involved in this situation. It was not about Birdie, okay? Let me... God, I'm still so fucking angry. I've gotten to the point where I don't care what happens. I want to hurt them. I don't care if they snap. It's what they deserve. I'm not sympathetic, nice, ooh-woo when it comes to this shit anymore. That old me is gone. I want them to... I want them to know true fear. I want them to cry. I want them to scream. I want them to be scared of me. Because they showed me. I will drive you to your fucking breaking point if that's what it takes. I don't care. And I won't stop until it's done. I sound like a movie villain. Lamau. Yeah, this is so bad. I sound like a movie villain right now. Lympho. A big black balls HD. Who are you talking about? No, I was not okay. I wasn't left at home and I was venting on the internet about fucking relationships. Okay? And to be fair, yes, I was unstable. Oh, my cat's doing it again. To be fair, I was very unstable back then. I would have crash outs like this all the fucking time where I was just all like, oh, everybody thinks I'm so bad. I guess I'll be the bad guy. Wait, actually, I have something really embarrassing to show you guys. Okay, hold on. I have a perfect GoatCatto classic, okay? GoatCatto classic, okay? GoatCatto classic. GoatCatto classic, okay? GoatCatto classic. We need to watch this GoatCatto classic.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
Okay, hold on. Anyways. GoatCatto classic right there, bruh. You know what's crazy? Wait. September. Say 9/2019. Oh my god! Y'all. September 26th. September 8th. Oh my god. That's a true classic. It's a true fucking classic, bro.
Check out the name of the person down at the bottom. Or there's this image where someone is harassing Streamline Workshop after their video on the drama. And no, I'm not going to give it a pass because it uses an A at the end instead of the harder ER, because the word is clearly being used in a derogatory sense here. I don't think the spelling of the word matters if you're still using it as a cutting insult. So apparently, all around, the people trying to take down Sashley because she's horrible are doing a lot of the same horrible things that they're trying to hold against her. Lovely. As I said, however, I don't think the people involved in this really recognize that they're kind of being hypocritical, or that they're acting just as bad, if not...
Wait. No ponder. You can't flip on the narrative again. Earlier you said that I was hiding things to hide my hypocrisy, but then you sit over here and you're like, well, I don't really think they understood that they were being hypocritical. But then how can you paint the narrative that I didn't understand that I was being a hypocrite, but then you try to say that I was willingly hiding shit that I knew was hypocritical? What are you on about, girl? Keep your fucking narrative straight. Holy shit.
Not worse than the person they're trying to take down. With regards to the N-word, for example, some people might be able to say that yes, obviously it's inappropriate to use that word under any context if you're not supposed to, whereas others might believe that the word is okay to use in matters of appreciation, like singing along to a song, or in quoting someone else who said it for the sake of news or discussing a situation. For me personally, while I don't think that the use of the word is appropriate, I can understand why it might be used by naive children. The word is taboo.
Goat, how bad was this video for you? I don't know. A lot of people told me to kill myself and harassed me for fucking years. And I also gained a stalker from Spockter's fan base when Spockter made a video on this shit. Which is great. Absolutely lovely. A lot of harassment, a lot of people A-logging me. I had people making fucking hate servers on me when I was like 15 to 16 years old, right? Like entire fucking GoatCatto hate shit. Ugh!
And taboos are very...
Actually, you know what, to put it shortly, this video is so bad that it led to me dating Birdie because I could relate to him. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. That should be bad enough.
Appealing to rebellious teens. A matter of you can't tell me what to do. They don't generally have the historical implications of that word on hand, and I don't think most of them realize that it's primarily being used nowadays as a means of trying to reclaim the word from being an expressly derogatory racial slur. Now,
wait, why is my avatar so fucking far away? Why did I just, like, zoom out for a second? What the fuck is going on? Hello? Hello? Hold on. Oh, okay, we're back.
Yes, obviously, if you're 25 and you're using the N-word very liberally, you are completely in the wrong and you need to stop. You are smart enough to recognize the implications.
Oh, yeah, the DID hit piece. Yeah, do you remember Koi Pond? I was a moderator in that server for like a day because the person who was the head admin or whatever the fuck, like Spockter's online sister or whatever, was friends with us around that time. So we got invited and we got automatic mod roll. Apparently there was a verification system where they would interrogate systems because they were against like whatever it's called, like endogenic systems that form without intense trauma or some shit. I don't fucking know, man. I don't keep up with this shit. But they had a ticket system, and I swear to God, I remember watching people like interrogate systems and shit like that, being like, so how did you figure out you were a system? When did you figure that out? I don't remember like if they specifically asked them what caused it, But, like, it was very odd, like, the whole interrogation shit. And also, honestly, a grown-ass man having... I'm not trying to call him a creep here, but I just find it odd. A grown-ass man harboring a Discord server full of grooming victims, whilst being the one with CP on his hard drive and keeping the victim around past his 18th birthday, whilst keeping that CP on his fucking hard drive and shit like that. I don't know, I find that odd. A bunch of grooming victims all in one place, venting about how they were, like, fucking abused, groomed by pedophiles, told to cut themselves and shit like that. It was just a big-ass fucking vent server. And sometimes I sit here and I think, oh, well, what about the other adults that joined that server, bro? Don't you think that would be victim central or something? I don't know. If I was a pedophile predator... and I wanted to groom a child, right? And I see that Spockter Theory is hosting an entire Discord server for fucking grooming victims to vent about their experiences, and it's free to join. I could just lie about being a DICE victim, get in these people's DMs, either lie about my age, or try to reestablish a bond that they had with a previous partner who groomed them. I don't know, just me thinking and shit. Also, hi, Neuro.
Behind the word, you don't really have much of an excuse. A child at least has ignorance as an excuse. Maybe one day in the future the power of that word will be nullified and everyone will be using it, but if you're smart enough and you're using the N-word very liberally, you are completely in the wrong and you need to stop. You are smart enough to recognize the implications behind the word. You don't really have much of an excuse. A child at least has ignorance as an excuse. Maybe one day in the future the power of that word will be nullified and everyone will be using it, but I don't think that it's appropriate.
The video that was reviewed by DID Systems was Jinx, the online sister, and there were allegations of Spockter and Jinx, which, like, no hate to Jinx. Jinx was, like, what, fucking 16 or 17 or some shit like that? Being an online sister to Spockter or whatever. I find that weird. Just saying. It's a bit weird. They would, like, apparently go and fake claim people and make fun of them and shit like that if they thought that their system was fake, which, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, but, like, I don't know. A little interesting.
Appropriate to attempt to use that word during the time period where it is still being reclaimed. Racists still use that word to discriminate against.
Is that me? That's me. That's me. That's me on the screen.
Children is that while some people might say that the word is not okay to use,
the DICE era of the animation meme community was low-key weird. Yeah, you're fucking telling me. I've got my own little lore regarding DICE, right? Okay. So I got involved with DICE before it was known as DICE, after I broke up with Birdie and shit like that. Me and my friends found this online cult that was called, like, Trash Cult or something on Instagram, which, by the way, the first ever video covering DICE was by a YouTuber called Ready to Glare, okay? She was the first person to ever make a YouTube video about it when it was still just on Instagram before it became, like, a whole huge, like, fucked up grooming cord. Me and my friends wanted to spy on that, and because, you know... oh, well, I'm GoatCatto, or I'm Birdie's ex, so they're probably gonna let me in. So yeah, they let me in because they're fucking idiots and they love anybody who's associated with Birdie. My plan worked. I started spying on them and shit like that, right? And I was sending information to other people. Once they found out about that, Mortis... oh my god, this shit was so fucking weird. It got uploaded on archive.org, but got taken down years later, I think. Mortis found out that I was manipulating them for information and, like, leaking their shit and reporting it, blah, blah, blah. So Mortis made an Instagram story telling children to cut themselves. And by cut themselves, and he posted images of this, by the way, he encouraged people to cut goat, fuck goat, kill goat, GoatCatto, etc., all that shit, into their skin. And he posted it on his Instagram story. He drew me being crucified. He tried to go on a crusade to try and find my nudes when I was like 16 years old. Tried to find my not safe for work and spread it around. Also, I believe, tried to find my doxed information. And yeah, and when I told my mom about, like, all these kids fucking cutting my name into their skin and shit like that, you know what she said? Why should you care? It was pretty fun. No, it wasn't. It was a wild time. Wild fucking time.
Other people...
Yowie. I even had, like, a whole ass argument with my mom about that. I was all like, dude, there's literally, like, children cutting themselves. They're being encouraged to cut, like, my name into themselves. What the fuck do you mean? Like, why shouldn't I care? my name is in their skin, and I never, like, did anything directly to them. These are, like, mentally ill individuals who are hurting themselves because of this dude. It's, yeah. Wasn't great. And she was like, why should you care? I don't care. Why should you care? Who cares? It's the internet. And I'm like, these are real kids, like, slicing into their fucking skin. What do you want about, dude? But whatever.
People say that it is okay to use. Take iDubbbz, for example. If anyone remembers the Tana Mojo situation with him, you might remember that after everything went down, iDubbbz spoke on the use of the N-word. He felt that by using the word, even if you weren't necessarily supposed to, you stripped the word of its power. A lot of teens watch iDubbbz. So even if someone wants to say it's not...
Like I said, when I say that I have a lot of weird, like, online and real life family lore, I'm not exaggerating when I talk about how actually fucked up it is. And it's also why I'm also very open about it, because a lot of the issues I had in real life growing up definitely impacted how I behaved online, especially since I trusted the wrong people because my own mother wouldn't support me. So, yeah, that explains some of it.
Okay for you to use this word, we also have people saying it is totally okay for you to use this word as long as you're trying to strip it of its power. And so teens generally use the word for shock value and for the sake of being edgy. Except, if the word is being used for shock value and a level of edge, that usage in and of itself still acknowledges the power that this word has. The word is only shocking and edgy to use because of the connotations behind it, and so to use it within that context really only reaffirms that this word does have power of some kind. It doesn't take the power away from it. I'm not going to lambast Sashley for her use of it, and I'm certainly not going to say that it's something that she, as a 13-year-old, 12 at the time, needs to be canceled for. I would just encourage that people take what I have said into consideration here. If the reason you use the word is to strip it of its power or for shock value or to be edgy, maybe reassess.
This entire situation is so maddening. The fact that people thought it was necessary to bring the private relationship life between Sashley and her...
Yes, I understand your argument, but once again, why did you further, like, boost the images of them sexting? These are literally, like, 12 to 13-year-olds. You, as the adult, could have been more responsible and be like, once again, I'm gonna, like, parrot and harp on it as much as I fucking want to because I want to drive the point home. As a 27-year-old, you should not be further blasting a child's sext, 13, 14, 15, etc. You shouldn't be boosting Sashley's sext. You shouldn't be boosting her porn. You shouldn't be boosting my porn. You shouldn't be boosting the fact that I had a not safe for work Discord server open and shit like that. You shouldn't be boosting that at the age of 27 because more people are going to see that and possibly try to take advantage of the fact that these minors are open. They're vulnerable. They're open to these types of activity. Therefore, I can probably take advantage of them. I mean, shit, they're already into DDLG and being groomed most likely, so it's that much easier for me. You could have just said, this is inappropriate, we're not going to talk about it, you shouldn't talk about it, you are a child, and ended at that.
Boyfriend to the public, the fact that Goat crafted a narrative where Sashley, a minor, would legally be considered a victim, and yet Goat set things up to blame her for being...
And once again, I did not actually blame her. You twisted my words when I was actually trying to call out the fact that Jaylee was grooming her, which, once again, you glossed over the fact that he was being sexual towards a 12-year-old. You didn't read the full fucking screenshot, and you misrepresented it entirely and painted me as a victim blamer, which, like, on one hand, I get it, but on the other hand, even I and other people watching this video are confused. It's not just me, not just my fans. Other creators who have watched this video, they're like, where the fuck did the narrative of you victim blaming her and calling her like a reverse predator come from? You never said anything about that. You were exposing Jaylee for being 17, talking to a 12-year-old about how they have to hold back when they're horny. Fucking hell.
Said victim, the fact that
the Spockter videos constantly had sex/rape jokes in them. 2 videos about a 16-year-old. That's great. Lovely. Lovely.
Hypocrisy is so thick that Goat implicates themselves when trying to implicate and vilify Sashley. The fact that all of this has resulted once again in the complete...
What the fuck is Foster? Are you trying to say Spockter or Foster? I'm so confused. Who is Foster?
Unnecessary and vile...
Foster? Foster? I've never heard of a Foster. I'm gonna have to look into this.
Harassment of a child. I hate every inch of this. I have said it so many times, but everybody involved here is a kid. Nobody knows what they're talking about. I'm honestly convinced they didn't even do a cursory Google search to check and see if anything they believed was even remotely on point. It's completely unfair to hold Sashley, a 13-year-old, to the standards they are trying to place upon her. She's a child, and that is very much an excuse for her behavior, especially given that she was 11 and 12 for most of these events. Just as with you, Goat, being a child is at least an excuse for your ignorance on the matter. But
And then once again, your fans ignored what you were trying to say and then went on to paint me as an evil person. And they were like, you know what you were doing, even though you're meant to be a lady, blah, 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 blah. Like, fuck off.
remain not happy about this. One other thing I need to make note of, there were a lot of other people behind the scenes working on getting this evidence out as a means of making Sashley look bad.
She blasted a 16-year-old with 20 fucking subs. Listen, at least in my case, I can understand because my video had 25,000 views. But, like, what the fuck is a 20-sub channel? What does a 20-sub channel have? Do they have any impact on anything? Did they have any impact on anything? That's fucking insane. A 16-year-old. He was a literal nobody. You know what? No, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with what most of the people in the community are saying about Ponder. She wants easy targets, easy wins, easy punching bags, easy money. Easy fucking money. She did the same to Akumu. Yeah. Fucking hell.
It was not only Goat. I'm not even entirely convinced that Goat set out with that intention in mind. I think they were just a very misinformed kid. And so the blame should not only be on Goat.
Are you going to mention the fact that we had apologized like 2 weeks and resolved things prior to your video releasing? Come on. Come on.
Some of those people can be seen in some of the images I have of Sashley and her friends being harassed. There was even an instance where somebody drew Sashley's character in a compromising position because of all this going down, which is weird because you would think if they actually thought any...
Ponder doesn't stand by this old video, but she didn't come to that conclusion on her own accord. She didn't take this down willingly. Like, on her own. In fact... This is like I said earlier, okay? This is like I said earlier. In 2023, she knew that I had grown and changed as a person and shit like that. We're about to get into that. And still, she kept it up for like, what, 3 years later.
Images of this character being drawn in illicit situations because it represents Sashley means that it's child pornography. Doesn't that mean that this person actively chose to draw child pornography too? Or again, does intent matter? People have been attempting to dox those who speak up against the drama or the evidence. This is a problem.
That was the guy in the chat who was like spamming earlier.
If doxing was so bad of an issue that Sashley needed to be canceled for it despite her doing...
It wasn't even because of Akumu. It wasn't even because of Akumu, Abyssal. I can't speak, but yeah, wasn't Akumu either.
Doing it when she was 11. Why is it perfectly okay to try and dox Streamline Workshop?
She said for 2 years to Frick that she would take that video down and never followed through. Even told us again in 2024 she would in voice call. And she only took it down, like, recently. And, like, looking back, I kind of feel bad for being emotional and going over that Frick the Pirate video. Whenever, you know, our drama was happening. But I kind of wanted to, like, see if he had repeated any of his old patterns of behavior. Which, like, now that I think about it, when stream's, like, done with, I'm gonna take that stream down. Because regardless of how I felt, looking back, it probably wasn't appropriate. And he was literally 14 during that.
In the present day, simply for speaking out against the evidence. If the evidence stood on its own, actions meant to threaten a person into silence out of fear would not be necessary. That should tell you enough about the quality of the evidence and the motives behind it being put out in the public in the first place. As far as I can tell, this isn't about canceling someone who has legitimately done something wrong and deserves it. This is a campaign directed at destroying a child by any means necessary, even going so far as to try and destroy anyone who would side with her in an attempt to remove those who would...
Is that what you did to Akumu? Now that I think about it.
Defend her from the playing field. They are effectively trying to isolate her so that Sashley has no means of defending herself. Can't imagine where I've seen that before. I don't mean to be presumptuous, but Stories, is that you? Sashley has also been doxxed as the result of this situation. Fucking stop. If it wasn't okay for Susan to be doxxed, it's not okay for Sashley to be doxxed.
Akumu was 16 years old. And also, fun fact, right? Akumu dropped this, right? So here's 2 things that I know. The Truly Junkies shit was happening in 2019, October of 2019, right? Oh yeah, Kuro, it happens later, actually. In the VOD we're about to go over, she does it again. She compares me to Pentagram and Stories, but with a twist. That I'm like them, but I changed. Anyways, the Junkie Truly shit was happening in October of 2019. Akumu also dropped the fact that Ponder began her first script on Akumu in October of 2019 as well. It really shows where her priorities were. I don't know, standing up for Chuli when the heat and stuff was happening. No, can't do that. Standing up for Chuli when the junkie stuff was happening and, you know, being the responsible adult and shutting it down. No, we gotta make 2 videos about children. Priorities.
Knock it off.
Finally, this is a message for any minors who might be watching this video. Now, firstly, I want you all to know that if you are experiencing sexual thoughts because of your hormones, that's fine. If you choose to express yourself in these feelings artistically, that is completely up to you, as long as you are not taking pictures of yourself. If you have two characters and you want to draw them doing the do, that is entirely your prerogative, provided those characters are of age or you are drawing them of age. But for anyone who does choose to do this, please be aware that you should not be sending these images to other minors. Sending pornography to minors is illegal, and this is even if you are a minor yourself, and this is even if the pornography in question is written or drawn. You could get in trouble for that action alone. Additionally, I highly advise against opening accounts online for the purpose of—
You see, I'm gonna spout this in my video, but I'm not gonna say it to the minors directly and like tell them one-on-one, hey, puts my hand on your shoulder. Don't goon. You're probably gonna get molested by an adult later on. Also, it's illegal. Come on, man.
Uploading not safe for work content. You can't be sure what type of people you're going to attract with that content. It's important that kids be safe online and that they recognize some of the danger.
Wait. You're sitting over here talking about how, like, children putting that out on the internet is dangerous, but then you yourself go digging for my fucking porn, go digging for the fact that I had a not safe for work channel in my Discord server and aired it out to 1.2 million people. The fact that you talk about Sashley's DDLG thing or whatever the fuck she was into, right? And aired that and the DMs out, and you also glossed over the fact that she was being groomed by a 17-year-old when she was 12, but you're suddenly gonna sit over here and be like, I care about minor safety. And you don't even, like, tell us one-on-one, hey, don't do these things. Hey, don't do these things. Hey, don't do these things. Ponder. Dog. Come on. I get it. But at the same time, you get on to me for being a hypocrite, but then look at you. Look at you, bruh.
Even if those dangers come from your own potential mistakes, please be smart about what you do online.
You were so adamant about not coming to me about this. Don't tell Ponder. For the love of God, don't get Ponder involved.
Because Gabe told me that you were dangerous and you were gonna destroy Sashley. I didn't know who you were, bitch. Also, you know, I'm gonna let it roll.
But if you had come to me, then I could have told you that all of this was bullshit.
If you, the 15-year-old, who was told that I am dangerous and you've never heard of me before this situation, if you had reached out to me, I could have, like, told you one-on-one that this was all bullshit. But, you know, I'm gonna have a conversation with, like, a third party and, like, ask them shit about you without actually asking you to your face or reaching out to you until I'm already working on a fucking video. Isn't that interesting? How are you gonna blame me for not reaching out to you when I didn't know who you were and I was told to stay away, but then you don't do your due diligence to fucking reach out to me regarding any of this until you were already working on a video? Please. Don't spin that on me, bitch.
Came to me originally asking me to get involved, and I was able to tell them that all of this was bullshit. Maybe you should be seeking the guidance of adults in situations like this. Not necessarily me, but somebody at least. If you're not willing to put in the effort to even do a Google search to see if what you believe is correct, then you are certainly not mature enough to be dealing with situations like this. As
you literally could have written that in an email or some shit. Dude, genuinely, like I said further on in the stream, the best way she could have, like, handled this, other than, like, anonymously addressing the allegations without naming anybody other than, like, Sashley who was involved, because obviously the allegations are against Sashley and you would want to debunk that and clear it up to, like, save her face and shit like that, right? Bro, you could have, like, DM'd me and be like, hey, this is inappropriate, you don't know what you're talking about, you're obviously not mature, please take the video down and make a statement, or, you know, you yourself need to clear this up and I will help you. I would have been fully willing to do that, bruh. Come on.
As much as you like to think that you are not responsible for the harassment targeted at Sashley as a result of your videos, you very much are. What you spread around was blatant misinformation and more.
And you spread out around misinformation about a 17-year-old grooming a 12-year-old and claiming that they were just being friends, and you also painted me as a victim blamer when that was not what I was trying to fucking do, and so now people will forever know me as, aren't you the one person who made that Sashley drama video and Ponder called you out for victim blaming a 13-year-old when I didn't victim blame them at all, actually? Also, what about Akumu? What about Frick? What about any of that? What about any of the kids that you covered? Are they just dumb kids too? Oh, well, they're dumb enough that I have to make a fucking video and make loads of money off of.
High grounding, as well as a bunch of cropped screenshots, so at this point you don't even get to do that. You spread misinformation because you didn't check to see if what you were saying was correct. You hid things about your own behavior that you tried to vilify.
Once again, she's flopping back to the narrative that she just said, well, I think they're just ignorant and misinformed and they don't know what they're doing. And, like, they probably aren't aware of the fact that they're being hypocritical. Back to the narrative of, You hid stuff. You hid stuff and tried to hide your hypocrisy when I never hid anything. What do you on about, bitch?
Sashley for as though you don't do the very same thing.
I didn't hide it. It was all readily available. You could find it anywhere, motherfucker. You can call me like a hypocrite and a moral grandstander or whatever the fuck. But even then, you acknowledge that a lot of the talking points weren't my own. So even then, why would you still sit there and think that, yeah, this bitch is hiding shit. They're a hypocrite and they're hiding shit. What do you want about?
You are responsible here. The fact that they acknowledge
I am responsible, yes,
someone
but
below
Jesus.
the age of 18 is a minor and therein can't consent to sex, but somehow still think that those minors are entirely accountable for their actions as though they were adults, really shows how highly teenagers hold themselves, but also how little self-awareness they have. They want to be adults. They view themselves as adults. They want to be sexual and draw lewd art and be like the big boys, to the point where they copy and mimic and judge and shame. But they're still kids. Guys, it's fine for teenagers to be sexual. It happens. It's not a crime to be hormonal teens. It's not a crime to express your hormones artistically. Yeah, maybe don't go around spreading it to other minors, but you do you in your private time. We can't put every little thing that a teenager does under a microscope as though they're thinking clearly, because biologically we know that they're not thinking clearly, and they won't be thinking clearly until a few years past the point where they would be even considered teenagers. That's how the human brain works. If it wasn't blatantly obvious, nobody needs to be harassed for the situation, but everyone needs to acknowledge that this was wrong.
Yes, but oh my god. Okay, so here's another narrative thing. She didn't address that this was already resolved privately 2 weeks before her video came out. She didn't acknowledge that I apologized, but then at the end of the video, she's just all like, you guys still need to admit that you're wrong. Bitch, I already did. What? And because of you, and because I was told to keep the fucking video up until yours came out, you're not actually sorry. You're not admitting you're wrong because you think you're wrong. You're just, like, saying all this because you got called out. Like, bitch, what? What? Fuck you. Anyways, we're going on to this little lovely gem, okay? This was May 21st, 2023. And this VOD, she talks about how I changed as a person. Isn't that fucking lovely? No statement was made. No statement was made at all. Nothing on the original video or anything. This was streamed on Twitch, not YouTube, so only very few people fucking saw this. Would have been great.
Oh god. I also thought maybe we could look over that new Sashley stuff, because that keeps popping up in my comment section. I took a glance at it.
I don't know why it's so quiet.
Like,
I'm sorry.
This looks like the exact same allegations that I already talked about, and then I sort of forgot about it. But now I'm getting comments where people are like, yo, how do you feel about them spreading the exact same things that you debunked? And I'm like, oh, so I wasn't wrong. That's actually what they're doing? Question mark. So, yeah, maybe we can...
No, wasn't what I was doing.
Bored of this idiot. Let's watch your Sashley video on stream. I could do that. I could eat during it. Do you guys want to do that? We could take a break from this piece of shit, and I
want to see what she has to say about this.
Wait, there's new drama about her? Wasn't all the stuff in the original situation misinterpretations and lies from stuff that wasn't all too serious, with only 2 things problematic that she'd done? So will there be more lies thrown at her, or is there actual things they have on her? From what I remember, the only stuff that could be illegal is her sending porn to minors when they were also a minor, although Goat did the same exact thing because of the uncensored stuff in the doc. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that, actually. Yeah, that's why we're refreshing ourselves with the video, because I don't fucking remember this shit.
Before I list the rest of the disclaimers, please note that...
Oh, Lord. Okay. This is probably just going to be like a repeat of shit, but I want to see what she says.
Hello, before you scroll down to post a comment time...
Why are children so ready to make videos talking about pedophilia and child porn and abuse? Like, go outside! Go play Pokemon, for fuck's sake! Why is every week littered with, like, hundreds of children trying to destroy each other's reputation online? Spiteful little brats.
When someone pointed out that what they were doing seemed like an attack, Goat said that they were not responsible for what people did as a result of the information that they presented in their video. I mean, sure, maybe in most cases that would apply, but there are also instances where that doesn't apply, such as if claims were made based on a misunderstanding of a concept, which, I mean, why do you think—
Yeah, if you're gonna go out and accuse someone of, like, supporting pedophilia or being a pedophile or whatnot, if you go out and accuse someone of being a pedophile and that person gets harassed off the internet or, you know, just by the community in general as a result of that, that is directly your fucking fault. Deal with it, fester.
Or anyone you know is a victim of pedophilia or anything else deemed illegal/inappropriate.
Oh, that's funny. If anyone you know is a victim of pedophilia, please contact the right authorities and report them before it's too late. So the thing that you should have done when you found out the Sashley was...
Let me find something. Hold on. I'm trying to find this one specific part. I apologize, okay? Oh, God.
Doesn't sound like a joke to me.
And still,
Sashley is the only one in the wrong, despite you literally talking about both of them engaging in this behavior.
It would fuck with their developments, because that's part of finding yourself. Yeah, I wonder if Goat was, like, sexually shamed by overly religious parents.
What? I wonder if Goat was, like, sexually shamed by overly religious parents. What the What? I'm not trying to be nitpicky here, but, like, I'm kind of lost. Yeah, no, you're over here. Whoa. The thing is, right? Yes, I was 15. Here's the thing, though. She already apparently knew that I was traumatized as a child because she went digging through my DeviantArt, and Sleepy She, the person who was talking to her and shit like that, right, was like, yeah, go, Ponder saw your vents about your dad molesting you. So, I wonder if Goat was, like, sexually shamed. This is crazy! Why would you do this? Why? Are you just being too autistic? What is this?
I wonder if Goat was, like, sexually shamed by overly religious parents.
I've spoken in the past about how it's illegal to send pornography to...
Why would the editor keep this in? What the... Hello? What? That's crazy. That's crazy. What the fuck?
Minors, and this generally includes in situations where minors are the ones sending pornography to one another. Erotic fiction is still classified as pornography from what I can find. However, in...
I'm screenshotting this. This is crazy. What the fuck, bro? What? Dude, that's actually so crazy. Wait, GoatCatto, why did you take down the other video in the Sashley drama? So there was like a part 2 to this stream, right? I had 2 videos uploaded in 2022 regarding to the 2022 allegations. The first video I think was good, but there was some pussyfooting there. The second video was entire pussyfooting because people started accusing me of like supporting a racist and saying that I'm fatphobic and saying that I got this, that, and that wrong, and that, well, you're not actually like listening to us. You're speaking over minorities and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, oh, I guess I did wrong. I'm sorry. I'll fix that. So I just made that video thinking that I was right. And then I later saw Ponder's video, or like, I guess, stream reacting to it. And I was like, dude, I was such a pussy. Why did I do that? That's gay. And then I took it down. And I made a comment on this thing. God damn!
In terms of the legality of the situation, Sashley's birthday is June 3rd. That means at the time of writing and sending the fic, Sashley would have been 12 years old. The law is generally more lenient in this situation the younger the parties involved are. After all, if a child cannot consent to sex as...
But yeah, I don't really appreciate Ponder wondering if I had... That's crazy, though. That's fucking crazy. I can't get over that.
The result of their lack of development, that same lack of development can be...
Yeah, like, it's already kind of weird that a 12-year-old is sexual enough to write sex fan fictions. Like, I wasn't I wasn't sexual at 12. I don't think I started getting sexual until I was at least 15. It's weird for a 12-year-old to be writing that shit, but it's also weird for...
Wait. So, Ponder, you're looking back and you're saying that maybe you should be concerned with why a 12-year-old is so sexual so early in their life? Is that not a red flag? Why didn't you say that in your video? Why do you only say it on here? What? Because in that video you're like, well, you're not her parent. You don't get you don't get to dictate what this 12-year-old gets turned on by. Oh my god. Bro. Please, come on.
For people to be overly concerned with a 12-year-old writing that shit. Like, maybe you should...
Like, I get what she's saying, but at the same time, it's like, you should have said that in your video, bro. I'm just saying.
Is that not a
71,000 people saw this. Fuck me.
Legally, she would likely only get a slap on the wrist because despite what Goat apparently doesn't believe, age does play a factor. That's why we separate the trials of children from the trials of adults. Except, Goat is also guilty of that. Yeah, the censored screenshot that Goat provides in this video, that's not censored in the Google.
Oh, it's coming up.
The people watching this video would be. Well, as we've already seen, there was at least one 12-year-old. It's funny that when I bring up the only thing Sashley could actually be considered guilty of, Goat is guilty of the very same thing, as well as basically any other minor online who has been sending porn to one another, and I'm aware there are a lot of them. Actually, to tie back into one of the
Fucking children are sending each other porn so fucking much these days. It's ridiculous.
Complaints against Sashley that I went over towards the beginning, that being that she got into an 18+ server and that potentially puts everyone in there in trouble if they send her stuff. If that were true, then that would apply to Goat too, since Goat has 2 18+.
Wait! Kaluravetla! Is this gold? She's reacting to the part where she flashes the fact that I have not safe for work channels on screen. You can see that there's 1,015,506 views on this. Let me go back.
Server and that potentially puts everyone in there in trouble if they send her stuff. If that were true, then that would apply to Goat too, since Goat has 2 18+ channels in their server, one for their own art and one for art that people send them. Like,
Goat was 15.
oh yeah, I'd also like one for art that people send them.
That
Goat was 15.
Is that all you have to fucking say about that? You bro.
One for their own art and one for art that people send them. Like,
Goat was 15.
Oh yeah, I'd also like to point out that the pornography that Sashley drew that Goat is trying to pass off as
I don't know what to say. Aha! Goat was 15. Aha! Do you not see the issue with you blasting that out there for people to see? What? Copying this timestamp. Yeah, she throws it out to 1 million viewers and then brushes it off. Ace.
she got into an 18+ server and that potentially puts everyone in there in trouble if they send her stuff. If that were true, then that would apply to Goat too, since Goat has 2 18+ channels in their server, one for their own art and one for art that people send them. Like,
Goat was 15.
Oh yeah, I'd also like to point out that the pornography that Sashley drew that Goat is trying to pass off as being a child, yeah, that character has fully developed breasts, which, if Goat is trying to make the claim that Sashley draws her character as a 6-year-old, which she then uses in pornography,
wait!
all I'm saying is I don't see a lot of people that young with D-cup titties.
In fairness, I think if I saw a 6-year-old with D-cup titties, I would scream.
art is all about interpreting reality in a variety of
Wait. Is the part where she actually blasts my fucking porn up here or not?
ways, depending on various points of perspective. To bring up my own work as an example, my persona character is drawn
I guess not.
in comparison to the persona I designed for my boyfriend. The height and size difference is exaggerated from reality because it's a piece drawn from my perspective. My perspective views my boyfriend as being a strong, larger protective force. When he wraps his arms around me, he feels significantly bigger than me, and I in turn feel very small in comparison to him. And so that perception
This is really weird, being single now and listening back to this. Oh shit, he broke up with me like 2 months later. No, a month later. Fuck me. Are you fucking R-worded? What is that? Fucking read it. A fanfic I've never seen before. What about it? It's fucking wrong. It's fucking sexualizing incest. Are you fucking stupid? Oh my god. That's gay. Like, gay was a like, when I was a kid, gay was a connotation for like something.
Hold on. Okay.
Those opinions in
She also doesn't mention the fact that this was yeah, too bad it wasn't cut from the main video. This was 2023, so wouldn't she be in the thing? I don't know.
public because it would ruin her image. So when trolls do that shit and rely on racist tactics, it just makes me think that they're
Okay, she's about to get into the part where she talks about like me changing or some shit.
Sending me messages on DeviantArt being all like, "Hey, I've got this artist that's like they've got super cringy artwork, and you could make a video on them for your cringy artist series." And I'm just like, how
Damn, Nero, she's older than you. What the fuck?
You're messaging me on the exact same account that I was mocking in those videos.
Sashley has also been doxxed as the result of this situation. Fucking stop. If it wasn't okay for Susan to be doxxed, it's not okay for Sashley to be doxxed. Knock it off.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think the people who tried to dox Sashley also tried to dox me, but like, I'm not 12, so I don't click on IP grabbers. So let's move on to the good shit, the shit we've been hyped up for.
Oh my god, this evidence is really incriminating. I can't believe Sashley would do this. Huh? What's this? A video responding to Sashley explaining the screenshots saying that they were edited and faked?
Why did I talk like that? I understand that I probably talk a little bit the same way, right? Same voice or whatever, but like I talked so fucking slow. It's just like, what's this? A Sashley video with false allegations? No way, bro. Like, fuck me.
And the creator of this video exposing Sashley is saying,
Wait, we're 13 seconds in and I have hope. Oh my god, Goat, are you giving me hope? Oh, I will be so happy if you're giving me hope. I will be so happy!
that there's no way that they're fake.
Yeah,
They
Ponder?
don't have any proof to claim that they're real. Time to do some research. Oh boy, guess what, people? The screenshots are faked. At least the ones that.
Oh my god, GoatCatto, I fucking love you!
Uh-huh. Wow. So, immediately acknowledging that I had changed. Did she make any statement? Did she take the video down? Did she do anything? Nope.
People are mad about are. However, the Black Lives Matter statement that Ash made was not fake, as Ash can confirm in these screenshots, but we will get into that later on in the video. Why?
So what did she say? I feel like this Black Lives Matter stuff did more harm than good. Why do people think
These motherfuckers are jinxing me. That's crazy. These guys fucking hate me. Don't jinx it! Don't jinx it!
Interesting choice of words. But I'm just so frustrated to see this generation get more and more R-worded by the minute. It baffles me how anyone thinks so low like this. Okay, but like, what's the context of the thing that she's talking about?
As Ash can confirm in these screenshots, but we will get into that later on in the video. Roy is back with another video debunking false allegations.
They actually have a voice?
Time.
Wait, do you
Wow.
make this your content now? Oh!
At this point, why am I surprised? This happens literally every month now.
Oh my god, you guys, my faith in humanity is being partially restored. I'm sorry for everything bad I said about you. Oh, you precious child.
Wait a minute. Oi. Oi, 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 oi. Wait a minute. Wait. No, Ace. Maybe I'm just tweaking out, but she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I said so many bad things about you." What? Bitch, what?
At this point, why am I surprised? This happens literally every month now.
Oh my god, you guys, my faith in humanity is being partially restored. I'm sorry for everything bad I said about you. Oh, you precious child.
I'm sorry for everything bad I said about you. Oh, you precious child. So you didn't reach out or anything? You didn't reach out, you didn't make a statement, you didn't take the video down, you didn't do anything for damage control or to be like, hey, I was wrong about you. Also, she's acknowledging the fact that she said bad shit about me. Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? That's pretty interesting. And yet, suddenly now, I didn't realize it was bad. I didn't realize. I didn't realize. I guess I'll take it down now. I don't stand by my video anymore now. I am copying that and I'm sending it to Ace because I am going to send this to somebody later because I am not fucking impressed.
At this point, why am I surprised? This happens literally every month now.
Oh my god, you guys, my faith in humanity is being partially restored. I'm sorry for
Girl, why are you moaning?
Oh, you precious child. There's also the chance they were discussing how the things going on at the time gave ammunition to bad actors or a specific event, like someone's business being damaged or so many other things. Without the convo context, we don't know what they were actually talking about specifically. Yeah, that's specifically what I'm worried about, because, like, if she's just saying, like, she doesn't like Black Lives Matter, again, that might not even be for racist reasons. Like, you could just
Yeah, no, I can't tell if she's playing it up and means being harshly critical or if she has regrets. Hard to say, IMO. Well, the thing is that she literally watched over this, right? And she even saw the point where she fucking flashed my server on screen with the not safe for work channels and shit like that. She literally watched her own fucking video, dog. Like, come on. She knows what she said anyways because you just, whatever.
disagree with their methods. I mean, maybe if you hate the concept of Black Lives Matter, sure, I can see that being fucking iffy. But yeah, like, you can disagree with an organization.
Yeah, if the editor hadn't have uploaded this, I wouldn't have even seen this. Nobody would have seen it.
Trying to make callouts, but they don't even put in the proper research. Wonderful. Quick note, by the way.
Oh my god. You can tell, like, the influence she had on me back then. I was like, wonderful. I was literally ponder LARPing, dude. I became the ponder LARPer of all fucking time. I'm gonna kill myself.
I've never actually been a true fan of her.
Okay, I do have to admit, coming into that after just watching this video and then having Goat be all like, people do callouts without doing research. I love the fact that they have grown enough that they can acknowledge this, but it is really funny. I can't deny that kind of gives a chuckle. Kind of gets a chuckle out of me. 3 years.
So you just watched that, and then you're acknowledging that I changed, and then you also watched the part where you fucking flashed my shit on screen when you shouldn't have done that. Whatever.
Go, don't get Ponder. Now, acts a lot more like Ponder. You know what? I'm happy with that. I would like more debunking videos in the community because there's so much of this fucking shit. I can't handle it all on my own. Like, it's why I'm trying to veer into more art-related commentary content. Like,
I am the Ponder Sprocket disciple. She doesn't even notice you're emulating someone older than you. Now, I mean, she kind of just did. She's like, oh my god, they're acting like me now. Fucking hell.
It's stressful, and you need teams of people, and I am one person. So if more people got into the habit of debunking this shit on the regular, I feel like it would stop gaining so much traction as a trend. I really think that more people should do this. And I'm really, really proud of GoatCatto for going down that route. And like...
She doesn't even notice you're emulating someone older than you. She read the chat. It wasn't her. What are you talking about? It's actually kind of cute. Voice, not my GoatCatto. 3 years ago, did get Ponder. Now acts a lot more like Ponder. I mean, it's probably colloquial.
Trying to debunk false allegations. Like, I'm extremely proud of them for that. I feel like a proud mama. Oh my god.
Nor is this video necessarily
proud mama.
Rather, as I always do now in commentary, instead of calling people out, I call out the bullshit. Which, surprise, in this situation, there's a lot of bullshit going around, and I will be debunking.
I mean, considering the account that's like making the accusations is called Poopy Butthole. Like, fucking yeah. So I watched this video. I think this was... Oh no, okay, I watched 3 of them. These are the most obnoxious fucking videos on the... Look at this.
Bro. Please. Please. And that's weird though, cause like people were actually running with that shit. Maybe I was just too autistic, but like Poopy Butthole was like genuinely fucking mad about stuff too. They were just all like, no, go, you don't get it, you don't get it, you don't get it. Maybe I did fall for the bait, but at the same time I was like so fucking tired of people using old ass screenshots.
Yeah, so most obnoxious fucking thing on the planet. Yes, this is literally it. So, yeah.
The scary Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Like a couple of the other videos. And I came to the...
Hi guys, I'm making a Poopy Butthole video. We need to call this guy out. He's spreading misinformation about Sashley.
My Among Us potion finally came from the dark web. If you were to this potion right now, need you guys to like the video kind of 3 seconds, okay?
This shit is so unserious. This shit is so dumb.
Okay, here we go. Cheers. Oh, it tastes like the imposter's ass.
Yeah, like, I look at these and I'm like, this is a troll. This is a troll.
But people actually ate it up. 50k people saw that shit, dude.
Okay, so either you're implying that the person...
Wait a minute. Okay, so it says this was 1 month ago. She actually saw my video right after it came out. It wasn't like years after the fact or some shit. Oh, fuck me, bruh.
Isn't a troll, or you don't understand that they're a troll. Guys, maybe read my community post as well. It's basically my statement or something. Reminder that this video isn't GoatCatto claiming Sashley is innocent. To be honest, I'm considering making a separate video pointing out that I'm not defending her and pointing out what she did do wrong.
But rather clear up the things that she has not done, based on the research that I've done regarding these screenshots. So let's take a look at the serious claims that Sashley has against her. Being racist, being transphobic, being homophobic by saying...
No, you see, Nero, they were concerned about the art she was making, but for the wrong reasons. Instead of being like, hey, this minor is creating, like, really hypersexual content, I think something might be happening behind closed doors. It was, you're exposing your fans to this shit. What the fuck are you doing? And it's just like, do you not realize that she's being groomed or some shit?
The F-slur, making fun of...
Transphobic? Oh my god. It's all, they always tack everything on a person. Racist, transphobic, homophobic. It's all the phobics. GoatCatto's come far. Yes, we are proud of personal growth. We fucking stand personal growth. I love it.
Fat phobia, making fun of eating disorders as well. Being in a pedophilic relationship. Okay, well, obviously that's not good, but why are you mad at Ash for this? Which I know a lot of you guys like to excuse this by saying, well, Ash was told that he was a groomer and she fake claimed her ex-friends.
Wow, the one thing that you got onto me for, the whole reason why your fucking video existed, even though, like, that whole thing you got onto me for wasn't even real, you told me that... Oh my god. Dog, you literally... Whatever, brah. Whatever. You painted me as a victim blamer when I didn't do that. Now you're just gonna be like, oh my god, you're not a victim blamer anymore? Oh my god.
Yes. Well, surprise, if you're being abused, people tend to do that. However, to respect the victim based off of what I've seen.
Oh my god, I'm so happy! Hi, Devona. Did you come up to and bask in the greatness? Yes, you came up to bask in the personal growth? Yes, look at you.
Girl, I'm not a fucking guinea pig. Why are you talking like this? What is going on?
There she is. Oh my, this is such a nice surprise to come back to. Like, after going through all the bullshit of the Sashley drama, and, like, it's so fucking nice to see Goat growing as a person.
When the document regarding the victim's experience came out, they stated they did not want a video made on that, so I will respect that and not make a video. Same goes for Ash, because she obviously...
Oh, she's talking to her pet? My bad. I was just all like, what the fuck? Why are you talking to me? She did talk to me like that earlier. She's like...
Are you just gonna cover all of Poopy Butthole's videos? Oh, this is perfect. Oh, we can watch Poopy Butthole's trolling through the lens of GoatCatto. Oh, I love it.
Poopy Butthole.
The lens of GoatCatto is crazy. Dude, I really was autistic back then. We're gonna see Poopy Butthole through the fucking lens of GoatCatto. Fuck me.
Lens of GoatCatto. Oh, I love it.
Poopy Butthole uploaded this video, which actually was the first video.
Like, even the name, I feel like, should include everybody in that they're a fucking troll. Poopy Butthole.
There's that caught my attention while scrolling on YouTube. So let's watch and review this.
Yeah, anyways, I don't think I need to press into this any further. This video right here, released in 2023, should go to show that she was well aware that she said weird shit about me. She says weird shit in there too. Interesting. She speculates on my trauma, which is amazing. Love that. But yeah, it goes to show that she was definitely aware of what she said in her own video. She had no reaction. She had no reaction to blasting my fucking not safe for work channels for 1.2 million people to see. And she just goes, Go was 15, tee. She acknowledged that I changed and grew as a person, but then she kept the video up and made no statement. She didn't even mention anything about this Twitch VOD. In fact, this Twitch VOD is only here because a fan uploaded it. So, yeah. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Wow. I fucking hate this bitch. Just kidding. I don't... Well, actually, I don't know how I feel about her. But yeah, good night.